Well, hello. How's it going? I know you guys missed me. It's been a whole week since I've ranted and raved on YouTube. I know. Didn't do a video on Wednesday either. I got it ready, but it'll come out next Wednesday. I just decided to just chill. Needed to decompress after partying all weekend. I went to Utopia Fest out in Utopia, Texas. I had a great time. I Yeah, I knew it was going to be a chill shindig. I kind of had to go, but it was going to be the last one in the foreseeable future. The last one was in October when the annular eclipse happened. And just so happened that the annular and the total eclipse both kind of crossed paths on that little town in Texas, about 5 hours from my house. And it worked out because I had to pick up some people in San Antonio, which were on the way. So yeah, we had a great time. It was me and a gaggle of ladies. It was me and three hot babes. Sounds fun, right? It was actually a nightmare. It's a living hell. The girls, I swear, we were like the loudest people in 100-yard vicinity, and we had no music or anything. It was just, girls being girls. They like to yell when they talk to each other. I don't know why. They like to scream, full-throated screaming. Oh my God! Anyway, I had a wonderful time though. It was basically, chill weekend. I realize I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm going to bed pretty early, going to bed at like 3:00 a.m. at the latest. I didn't see a single sunrise out there. It was pretty rough. I spent a lot of time at the campsite, and we were camped close to the stage. We were not far, but I still spent a whole lot of time under that easy up, just chilling in a lawn chair. That's just like the age I'm at now. I'm just going getting to terms with that. Yeah, who played there? Ghostland Observatory. They kind of headlined Monday night. It was fun. And then, Sir Woman, they play out there a lot. But her band, they're called Sketch. I think their side project. Those kids have chops, man. Those guys can wail. They got a real talented drummer. Young black fella playing and singing. And he's like, I want to say you remind me of myself when I was your age, young lad, just tearing it up, being all goofy and shit, stealing a spotlight. Reminded me of me. Good old times. I didn't play at all out there. It was fun. I was going to Monday night, late night, and kind of got rained out. Kind of got canceled from some sprinkles, which is fine because I was tired anyway. It just kind of sucked because like you have to. I hate carrying like a cooler or a bunch of beers. Like, oh, we're gonna go camp out at this one stage for a while, so let's bring a whole bunch of shit. Let's take chairs and coolers and drinks, and we'll stay there forever. And then we just stayed there for like 20 minutes, and we had to haul all the shit back. It was pretty. It was all right, but other than that, no hiccups, no problems. The car, she's doing just fine. I was kind of worried. I got to get the inspection done now that the stickers expired in April, but yep, she did good. The old Yukon. That being said, there was another festival out there in the area out in Burnett, Texas, and there was this kind of I don't know. Everyone had very divided opinions about it from the beginning. Also, everyone had very divided opinions of it after the fact. Never really seen anything quite like this. And I thought it'd be fun to do a Stupenzocast where I kind of, hang out by myself usually and talk to myself and you find people. But I thought I should open up the chat. I'm actually streaming congruently on Facebook for the first time in forever. I stopped streaming on Facebook because, A, the pandemic was over and people didn't really care about what we were watching on Netflix. And B, the quality is so worse. Like when I moved to YouTube, the quality improved drastically. I remember Facebook would lag and get all crazy. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to open the chat up and get some personal anecdotes and opinions about people that actually were at this big fest. Now, for those of you who are unaware, it was a massive music festival called Texas Eclipse Fest. And the thing is, I knew I wasn't going to go to this because I had already I was going to Utopia Fest. And here's the thing, if Utopia Fest wasn't during the eclipse, I probably still would have gone to Utopia Fest just because kind of, part of the crew. I help. I'm a part of production, do all the graphic design for that thing, and I know it's going to be the last one for a while, so kind of wanted to go do the send off. But still, when I saw the first wave announce for Texas Eclipse, the the massive lineup they had just for the first wave, I'll show you. Just like this is kind of what we're looking at here in terms of stages and acts. I was recently on the 8750 podcast on Spotify with Vex Electronica and Yeti Yef, and that was great times. This is before I went to the Eclipse, and I was talking about how I get FOMO at things like these. I don't get FOMO from not going to an event. I get FOMO when I go to an event and it's so goddamn massive, it's impossible to do everything. That shit drives me crazy. Oh, man. So I see something like this where, the lineup looks like the Avengers end credits. It looks like the Vietnam Memorial. I don't really have a real hinkling to go to this. But here's what happened. We were receiving word third and fourth hand from, cell phone devices while we were at a Utopia Fest. Basically, like all kinds of stories about people were basically eating each other and drinking water and getting dysentery and dying. And I don't know. A bunch of this stuff was unfounded, but I guess now that we're back in the civilization, I guess what we do know is this Eclipse Fest had some issues. But I gotta say, everyone I know on personally, they're either either they worked it, didn't have a good time, or they did go, they had a good time. Basically, the question is, were you prepared? And I see we have a couple people in the background, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring some of these in. I want to hear some of these firsthand accounts here. Let's go ahead and stop sharing this. We got Liz. Liz, how are you?
I am not at Texas Eclipse Fest, so I'm great. I'm home and I'm fabulous.
Now, you worked in this thing, right? You were an actual volunteer or employee or something of that nature?
I worked with Seed, who did the car camping placement, parking, and basically everything but RVs. We handled all the wheeled vehicles where they were going to go. I've worked with them before, and I was a paid staff member.
Wow. Okay, we've also got another guest here. I don't know who this is. She might be muted. She might be taking a break, but her name's Anna Nicole. And how are you?
Hey, Enzo. It's Olivia.
Oh, what's up, Olivia? How you doing? I was like, I didn't know if you wanted to be anonymous or what. I'll use whatever silly stage name you guys have. How are you?
I'm good. So I was actually volunteering RVs. So it's funny because we had to work directly with Seed, but we were not working directly with them. And RVs we have to cross while they were doing like traffic management.
Do you are you using headphones right now?
No.
Can you turn down your receiver volume just a hair? Like your speaker volume on your phone?
I don't know. Maybe. Is that any better?
Sure. Yeah, it is. Cool. Well, all right. Well, I'm glad I got you ladies here. Now, like I said, I guess we were hearing word third hand. Let me go ahead and just show you guys this trailer for this Eclipse Fest. I had never really seen this until just now, but I don't know. This seems like it might hype people up.
4. The moon will give us a gift, one that won't occur in the United States for another 20 years. In the central Texas sky, the moon will come out mysteriously, blocking the sun for 4 minutes and 20 seconds. People from all over the earth will celebrate this cosmic gift of temporary night.
They just had to sneak that 420 in there, Uniting the most imaginative. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This was I know a lot of people were super excited about this. Yeah. We don't know how it happens or why. It's all a mystery.
Mysterious.
Very strange. So yeah, I mean, basically, in a nutshell, ladies, fun time or bad time out there?
I'll let Liz go first because I'm curious.
Sorry, since my mouth was like already open. I honestly had such a low bar. I knew it was going to be a shit show. So I was ready for it. I also prepared personally, and I know I had a different gauntlet to run as a staff member versus a participant. So I had everything I needed, and I had a blast.
Cool.
But it was definitely challenging, and I saw a lot of people that were having challenges, and I know for a fact it was a bad time for many. But overall, my personal experience was that I had a good time.
Yeah, see, me and Liz, we actually know each other from burning. And out there, you bring all your food, all your water, all your toilet paper, bring everything. Take care of yourself. Independent. That's how it works out there. Yeah, and if you were one of these types, these over preparers, I think you might have had a better time than if you were. Because some of these music festivals, yeah, people think it's like Coachella. I'm going to go hang out backstage and get pampered. I don't think that was what was going to happen there. What about you, Olivia?
Yeah, no, Liz and I are on the same page. And so you've known me for a while too. I'm pretty, I'm used to festivals. And so I knew better. If there's 30 to 40,000 people going, it's going to be a shit show, period. And I think a lot of people, though, the difference is, I think, as a worker and a volunteer, is that, yes, we knew that we were going in to be prepared for ourselves and had a little bit more amenities. But we also didn't spend $800 on a ticket.
Right. That's the other thing. If I had spent thousands on it, that might have changed.
Yeah, I'd probably be in a different boat. And I will also say, like, the actual grounds, as like, I mean, I haven't been to, say, like Peach Festival or the Gorge, or even Red Rocks. Like, I mean, if you've been to Red Rocks, like, you can't, it's not an easy venue to get in and out of, but this was a little harder terrain. And I think for a lot of people, that meant that you either had to be exhausted to see shows, or you weren't going because it was up and downhill. It's not a flat terrain.
And I've been out there for Utopia a few times. They threw it out there.
And so for this one, they spread it out much further.
What were you saying, Liz?
They made it. They did terraforming. They made it bigger. They literally made roads.
Yeah,
and that was one of the huge issues.
Right, and it was so dusty. I'm not gonna lie, it was probably the dust. It was Burning Man level dust, and I was working RV.
It's awful.
What's cool is the dust out there.
It was Burn It Man.
Yeah, Burn It Man. That's pretty funny.
Like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The dust out there is real rich in iron. No, that's okay. The dust out there is real rich in iron, so it's all red and it stains everything.
Honestly, though, I bandanaed the whole time, and this is like one of the first times I've ever left a festival and I didn't get wook flu. So maybe that's because I didn't spend as much time in the actual artist areas and stage areas. But I will say, between Seed, and it's funny that Liz is here from Seed, because that was one of the biggest disconnects and probably one of the biggest things at the festival that is really fucked up, is because us getting RVs in, a lot of people didn't get what they paid for, maybe, or had to wait a long time.
What I heard out at Utopia Fest, based on, because I had service out there, AT&T, so I was still able to check the the gossip, and of course I took everything as hearsay, whatever. But yeah, the story was like people paid for early entry, and then they were shipped all the way to like the far end of the grounds or whatever. They had to walk like 2.5 miles or something to get to the festival.
No, let's not be dramatic. It wasn't 2.5 miles.
A mile.
2.5 miles. It took, if you didn't know where the
it was about, honestly, where I was camped with staff camping, and from where I was placed at that farthest Vista was 4 miles from where we were camped at for staff.
So there were other trails, but the problem was there wasn't signage. They were missing signage.
The signage was awful.
So how long would that? You guys would only drive out or golf?
Oh no, I walked. And I only walked.
How long is that a walk? How long a walk is that?
I went into the festival probably 1.5 times.
Right. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done.
Well, I was also working, so like by the time I got off, like fuck that. It would have. If I was an attendee, and I could see as an attendee, if you hadn't ever been to a festival or you weren't really like acclimated to just, I don't know, nature, that it could be an issue, but it wasn't impossible. It was just hard if you were dehydrated.
It was definitely far of a walk, and I don't know if I made this whole live video on my own page on Facebook about it. one of the main reasons that it was so confusing and that people kept saying, oh, the staff didn't know things.
There was
The
no
staff that they're talking about is the company that I work for, and the
and
map
us too.
that we got.
We look like staff. We're
Well,
volunteers.
no. The map that we got.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Well, fair. But what I'm about to say is a pretty crucial reason why it was such a cluster. So the staff, or anybody that was in this, like volunteers. So you guys probably got the same map. It was that grid map. Where
I did
you
not
would
see that
like
until
look
3
at it
days
and
in.
say, this is
I was
where we
very
are,
confused.
this is where you need to go. So cool. Well, the fun thing is that the participants got a completely different map that was not just a different map, but our map had north at the top, and the participants' map had west at the top. Part of us
And
giving
neither
directions
of
to
the
people.
I
Here's
saw
where you're at.
3
This is the way
maps
you're
while
going to
I was
go.
there.
Yep, the theme camp, or like the camp one, which I never even saw, the grid one, and then the staff map, and then the participant map. So yeah, it was an exercise in patience and sanctuary, and but yeah, there were some like basic tools that we didn't have that would have made it easier to give support to people, like the same
I
map.
have to ask Liz, did you ever work the crossroads where RV was crossing traffic?
I did not work. No,
okay, so
no, I did not. I worked. I was at Far Out and Vista the first 2 days.
So there was
Yeah,
also
I was there for a week, so I worked.
Here, Liz, you might want to go off camera because that can help save some of your
What was that? Sorry?
roboting. If you go off camera, that might prevent you from doing some of this roboting that we're getting from you.
Yeah, there's a little delay.
A little lagging. But if you turn your camera off, that'll help save some of your processing power.
So with where RV egress was going in, where I was volunteering, they had at one point decided to allow they had to keep changing the logistics because it was just too many people for the one road they had in, and eventually they let the RV campgrounds become a roadway. And
right.
Yeah.
That really, really it screwed Seed, and I don't know the name of the RV company that Kevin runs, but whatever.
So, yeah, something I heard was people were pulling up and they were told like they'd get like a 10 by 30 lot for group camp for theme camping or whatever, and they were getting like 10 by 15 lots.
I know nothing about car camping, and that is that I'm very, very only limited to the RV aspect of it.
Of course.
And it was also it's separated up on a hill. Car camping was a whole other ball game that I had nothing to do with.
The big thing that I noticed was that since the company that I worked for apparently had been like marginally involved with the terraforming, but only like they were out there like a month before, and they were like walking the property with the landowner and the people responsible for the terraforming. So what happened was they did the terraforming, which is making the earth ready for this festival. For those who don't know,
it was way less usable than they expected.
Exactly. Every single car camping or lot that they were like, this is how many cars, RVs, tents, whatever we can fit here, and then they like built their capacity upon that. None of that met its capacity, and we had to go into overflow.
Exactly.
So that's what I was saying earlier, which I think I kept getting cut off, was that the first 2 days we had a plan to fill. So we were going to fill the pastures and hillside and all that in the first 2 days. Well, we were done with that on day 1. So day 2 started.
Damn.
And we're already ahead of the game. And so
day 1 is like Wednesday, right?
Day 1 exactly was Wednesday.
Yeah.
So those early entry people that paid for early entry that are coming on Thursday are already getting placed. They're not getting, so the two the pastures and the flats were like, they were the furthest from the entrance, but they were actually closest to the venue. Like it was actually prime camping, but it seemed like it was like, oh man, we're driving forever. But yeah, that was full day one. So the beginning of day two into the afternoon of day two, we are filling that literally the farthest, which was Vista. So these poor people, they're like, what do you mean I have to park here? I paid money and I paid money to be here early. And I'm like, baby, you are talking to the wrong worker bee.
Thank
like,
you. That's what I have no.
The fact that you and I are having a conversation means that I have no power, because if I had power, I'd be up in the,
I want to be standing in a fucking field somewhere pointing at cars.
Well, and so the other issue was when originally the gates were supposed to close at 10 p.m. Then they said the gates are going to close at 3 a.m. Then they decided that gates were going to be open 24 hours. And so as far as logistics plannings, when you're already behind, there's no way for somebody to sit down and say, hey, this is how we're going to address this tomorrow. We weren't even staffed past 10 p.m. So how are we going to really like pick things up and make this make sense by tomorrow morning when we're just dragging people in to figure out how to get through the night?
Yeah, it's just constantly evolving.
So it was like this like axe hanging over like from the get-go, basically.
Oh,
like,
by the time because I got there, I got there Thursday morning is when I left Monday after they canceled. And by the time I got there, like I said, I imagine that the logistics coordinator for the RV camping had anticipated there would be some time to plan, and maybe get some fucking sleep. That would have been nice. But instead they were like, no, gates are open 24 hours. Good luck. Park RVs all night. And then also Seed was working, like there was a cross intersection, and Seed, they also were the ones who were doing the actual like fire marshal planning for car logistics, as far as I'm concerned. So they weren't necessarily like we would have to ask them for permission to do things because there's so many cars that they're backed up to the freeway. But the reality is like I have to stop the Seed cars, and Seed and I are not on the same walkie-talkie channels. We're not doing anything. We're just there, and I'm just like trying to like make friends.
Man, you wouldn't have wanted to be on our channel anyways. It was nonstop chatter. There was like we needed to be split up onto our multiple channels, because there'd be times when I'd be like, like I need help, and I couldn't get a lead, because it's a good thing I know how to work a radio when I had a medical.
The logistics were fucked is really what it is.
Like, I think it's one of those things where I think most of us, like I've worked a lot of music festivals, and you see a lineup this big and you're like, okay, this is going to be a nightmare. But if I was 20, I probably would have gone.
This shouldn't have been a surprise, though. This is a Donnie production. This shouldn't have been a surprise. Everybody that knows about this particular production company, this guy,
and this size event.
This is really exactly what he did at the Oregon Eclipse Fest.
Yeah, though that's the other stuff I want to get into, because like basically the plot thickens with like, first of all, during the event, there's like all this like vitriol online. You got people who aren't there saying it's a clusterfuck and it sucks and everyone can go to hell, and then
you got beautiful.
You got people there. They're like, don't listen to the haters, bro.
Well, no. But honestly, it was a lovely time, but it was also a clusterfuck.
Right.
Like,
it can be both.
I would say that for a venue of like, it definitely is a venue that should host less people.
Yeah.
Because it is a hard
tops.
venue. And so if you're going to bring 40,000 people in, 30,000, whatever it ended up being, there's definitely going to be some like people there who aren't experienced.
Did either of you ladies get a head count or a tally?
Like I said,
I think
you came prepared. I came prepared, so I loved it, and I had an absolute blast.
Do you know how many people were out there? Do you think
they sold 30,000 tickets, but there was probably, I don't know, 5,000 to 8,000 staff, vendors, performance.
I don't think they got over 40K.
That's still a lot.
I don't think it got over 40K.
I think
there were rumors that like 70,000 people were coming. It was like Jesus.
It was not Burning Man numbers. No, it was definitely more than the 30K that they sold, but it was not quite.
How many people go to Burning Man anyway?
80,000 is what I
Good
think.
God. See, here's the thing, ladies. You guys know me from Flipside. I heard about Flipside and Burning Man like at the same time, like,
I've
what,
never been to a
12 or
burn,
13
so
years ago.
Yeah, come to Flipside.
Yeah, well, I remember
Olivia,
hearing about
come to
both. Like, yeah,
Okay,
Flipside, it's
heard.
out in Texas. It's 5 days, Memorial
Come on.
Day. I'm like, that
Come on
sounds cool.
down.
3,000
You've been in
people.
my suggested friends for years. So.
But when they said Burning Man is like 80,000 people for like 10 days in the desert, I'm like, I have no interest in going to that at all, and I never did.
And especially now that I'm older, no, I don't have any interest in going to Burning Man. But I will say, if I had paid for this ticket, I could be in a different position, where because there are things that were not granted that said they were.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah,
for me, I get that. Like I've been to festivals. It's not. I'm not going to a festival because I expect you to have a water station 10 feet from my fucking tent. Like I bring my own water. It's not a big
now that was the other rumor going around that this water they were serving or they were legally obligated to serve was like filled with dysentery and it was non-potable water.
I have so many friends who were there and that went home just fine.
Fine.
And I have friends who are like have even openly posted about this that I can share with you on Facebook that say like
just fine.
It wasn't that. It was just a hard festival.
Well, here's what's funny. Like, like I said, I was at Utopia Fest, and every time I was hearing these ridiculous updates, I was like, well, I'm going to take everything as a grain of salt until I get home and see pictures, see video.
It was
and
beautiful.
I remember there were a lot of people.
Insane.
Oh, I bet. But the thing is,
cool.
Yeah, and Utopia Fest, it's this whole like my drug fest is cooler than your drug fest kind of attitude. Yeah. But I think it was also what was funny was kind of crazy actually was like I remember you'd be hearing, jokes about like Eclipse Fest and what was going on down there, especially like Monday, which we'll get to in a minute. But like some people just had like such glee in their voices, like, oh my God, you hearing about how fucking awful it is. And I'd just be like, all right.
And I was torn between going to Utopia because I knew all my friends would be at Utopia, the ones that like, I actually vibe with.
But I was supposed to go to it as well.
Yeah, right. But once I got the volunteer opportunity to go to this festival that would have costed me $800 to go to otherwise, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go to this big one. But I, again, as we've kind of discussed, and I think Liz would agree, is if you're not an experienced person in that realm of like, this could be a shit show, I could see why you're going to cry about it. And
I mean, if you're a bunch of hot sparkle ponies that are there to just be, babes, you're probably gonna have a hard time out there.
I can be a capable, radical, self-reliant babe. I don't have to be a sparkle pony to be a babe.
Right.
It's real hot.
I imagine, yeah. But that's the thing. Like I said, I would have been one of those guys where it's like, oh, we're camping all the way out here, like 3 miles from the thing. All right, well, we'll probably
cool. Yeah, I'll bring all my shit.
We'll probably just set up the tent and the stove and just stay here. We'll just start our own rave out here.
Yeah.
The only thing that really, because like I said, blah blah blah. I prepare. I'm fine. However, there was this, and we're probably about to get into this. The big thing was the ADA shit show. The promises that were made, and I'm
that
not
was huge.
What is an ADA?
For the people with disabilities.
Oh, right, ADA. Yes, American Disabilities Act, of course. Yes,
not just that. The medical team.
Yeah.
And this is a big problem with Disco Donnie is that so there was a lot of talk about the security company that he had hired. The security company that he hired is known for being a shit show.
And they didn't search me at all, but they stole a lot of people's like
That's what I hear.
Shit. Yeah. Because they knew I was staff, so I wasn't
importantly, which is more important than security and people's drugs getting stolen, you know what a really important department to vet is your medical team.
Yeah.
And the people that are in charge of your ADA.
The guy with the heart attack that's a fucked up situation. He could have survived if they would have had on-site medical staff.
Right.
That is the reality.
Spoilers, there was a fatality out there, which we'll get into.
I was going to be a bit more general about it. But
what was funny was I heard about some people like talking about like, because this seems to be the common back and forth that I'm seeing online is this festival was a nightmare. or someone saying this festival was great, and then someone in the comments basically disagreeing, and they keep bringing up, well, you know, you may have had a good time, but that doesn't take away that somebody died. And then someone else will say, hey, I'm actually shocked only one person died, because most of
Because
these
there
festivals
was
this size, there's
also-
always
There
someone that
wasn't.
dies.
And it
I know
wasn't
for
just one
sure
person.
there were several fentanyl overdoses.
Oh, okay. That
And
makes
this
more
is
sense.
not like I mean, as
So-
far as I know, I'm not just shooting
No,
this
of course.
shit out of my
We're
ass.
all
There's
just,
no
this is all, everything here is all fucking take it with a grain of salt.
Okay, so there's only one death that they have come out and confirmed, which is the heart attack
Right.
of
Mhm.
the 67-year-old Burning Man attendant.
And the big issue
who-
was like he's so far out there, and by the time people finally got to him, he's like, you know, it's too late.
No, the
about
the
that.
city EMS got to him before on-site staff did.
Oh my
And
God,
what
that
I
does not look good.
understand, That
See
is why
my
the
previous
sheriff pulled
email
her
about
over.
the map and the people not knowing that, and so when you pull over, because and this was like 2 days before, you know, I'd see the little medical people on their cart riding around, not in an emergency by any means, just like, hey, where is the blah blah blah, and I'd pull up my map and I'd go, oh, it's here, and they would go off into the world, and then like sometimes, like 2 times, they'd come back and they'd be like, okay, so that wasn't the right way, here's my map. And they'd
That
pull up the-
seems like where the big disconnect was, is that pretty much
Yep.
everybody that worked there was a contracted worker, and there was no, like, none of us knew where anything was. Like, I was wearing a high-vis vest. People think I know where shit is. No, I
Right.
don't. I haven't been to the festival. And
How many people
honestly,
were like coming up to you like desperate for information, like please?
literally constantly. I mean,
Yep.
the entire fucking time. People are
And-
asking
but-
me for information, like where will call is, where guest services is, where
Right,
lost and
and I
found,
knew where that
medical.
stuff was. I got
Things
my
that-
map.
I'm working
made-
and I don't know.
But there was
Well,
plenty
I-
of like there's plenty of like $30 quesadillas and shit to go around though, right? Like nobody was going hungry or anything, right?
There was several
None of the
high-class
rich
vendors,
folks
but
went hungry. Well,
Yeah.
so the thing is that, you know, and they really should have given everybody the same. Everybody who was expected to be in, you know, either whether they were a volunteer or a worker, they all should be given the same map. I got a map, and my map had the venue and all of the car camping and the parking
Okay.
and then I saw I being me, because I need to know these things. I was like, all right, where's all the medical stations? So I took a red Sharpie on my map.
And then
And
they
put a
moved
dot-
it. That was the fucked up thing. Was there was a medic?
No,
There
was 5 medical stations. That's what
So there was
so-
one that was in RV staff
Forgive
camping
me,
by the general
forgive me,
store.
Miss Olivia,
Sorry, go
forgive
ahead.
me for a moment. Just let me finish.
Sorry.
Each Hubble, no, and I realize there's probably like a delay and sound and all that.
Yep.
Each satellite station, the Hubble, the Voyager, the Skylab, all those. That's where you'd have your ice, you'd have your water. There were showers, there was metal. It was like these little satellite kind of HQ stations.
Mhm.
I think there was 5. I can't remember exactly. So when I got my map on Wednesday, me being me, because y'all might not know this, but I am nicknamed Trouble Rat because I fall down and I need medical because I'm a clumsy
Girl,
ass. And
same.
I'll get into the story of how I know why medical was trash because I had to go up to medical at this
Well, no,
event.
they moved it. That was the thing. So in the satellite that was in RV camping, where RV staff camping was, there originally at that satellite at the general store there was a med
There's
tent.
that bubble.
But they ended up moving it, and so after we had sent several, we only found out because we sent several people that way, and they had to come back out, and so they ended up moving med because where RV staff camping was, that satellite was so far from the venue that
Were y'all by Hubble or which satellite?
the RV staff one before Alamo.
Okay, got it. Closer to Skylab, I think. Got it. This is how I know what satellites are called now.
Yeah, I had no idea what they were talking about. But they ended up, like I said, we would send people to that med tent, and then eventually they moved that med tent down because they didn't have enough med staff to attend to the actual
they were
like
bad.
venue.
Either of you ladies do any kind of volunteering or hear anybody who did volunteering with like pets or health or first aid or anything like that? Anything crazy? Nothing?
My only
I
experience
saw people
with medical
doing.
was that they were trash.
There's lots of videos of people getting tranked I mean, not lots, but I've seen a couple
Woo.
of people who were spun out and had to get tranked on site. People who, and from what I understand, is that some of them weren't even attendees. They just kind of made their way in. Though, I mean, it was. Like I said, if I had paid for a ticket, I may have a different perspective. But
think
from my perspective, we did the best we could.
No, of course.
Oh, absolutely. The thing about medical is these were all trained medical professionals, nurses, but I don't honestly think any of them had worked festivals before.
Right.
Which
It was
when
very
you have
obvious the security and who were they?
Oh no, one of my homies from Corpus walked by in a security shirt, and I was like, "I'm sorry, what the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I got hired by the security." I was like, "Jesus Christ!" So that's how I know that like their vetting process was shit. But what it is that you can be the most highly trained medical professional, but if you don't have any experience working a festival with like, and that's what Zendo is for. Zendo is a nonprofit organization, kind of like Bunk Police and Dance Safe, that is specifically their whole point is to make sure that people can party safely. And they have like kind of a background in sanctuary, which is like the burner training, you know, where basically you have some experience in trip sitting. And you know, that's the whole point is so when you're doing medical at these festivals, you do vitals, you do triage, and if they're just tripping, get them the fuck out of your med tent and into Zendo. Right. Because and so when I got knocked down, I was already uninjured. I had gotten injured during my shift on Saturday, and I went into the event to watch my one friend, Dirty Wolf, shout out Levi, woo. That was the one thing I wanted to see, and I walked in on my cane. I got knocked down after the show. These people are not burners, and they don't know how to handle themselves, apparently. Couldn't get up. Took me like 3 minutes to get up. Finally make my way to medical, and then that staff, they were so overwhelmed. And granted, they were still kind of assholes, but I'm not trying to like vilify these people. They just weren't prepared, and it's that they weren't vetted. You know what I mean?
No, yes, and it was a hard venue in general.
Yeah, like I said, I've been there a few times for the couple times that Utopia Fest was out there. And
well, they expanded it very, very much. And
yeah, it was unrecognized.
I mean, like I consider myself pretty acclimated to, I don't know, just like doing things outdoors. And I was hesitant to, like, the staff showers for me were probably a half a mile walk, but not flat ground.
Man, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like Rocky and fucking everything gets red.
They're just waiting for your ankles to roll over
them. This is an article that I saw getting shared around early on when I was out there, April 5th, and it's like Texas Eclipse, the worst festival I've never made it into. Now, basically, the gist is this person had to wait, but a huge problem was, their wife is a disabled raver, and I mean, apparently it was just like nothing that could be done for them if you were out in a wheelchair or whatever.
And the ADA
they would do that. Yeah.
The ADA shuttle pickups were actually coordinated with the RV concierge that we were running. And I saw firsthand how they were not coming through very often.
Nope.
And then we also had issues with for RV camping, they're going to get a lot of shit, 100%. But the ADA, that staffing had nothing to do with us. They just kind of coordinated with us and our points. And they were few and far between. And that venue, it was not an ADA friendly venue. I actually, working RV egress, like I would talk to everybody and do a little like damage control. Like, hey, you might have to wait a few hours while we figure this out. And I had a woman cry to me.
Well, this article, definitely commends the ADA people.
I explained to her that it's going to be a long walk, and and she started crying as soon as she got there. And she said that she had made phone calls and done this and that, and like
to make sure it was all going to be okay.
Situation, but
I think ADA was hit or miss. I think there was a multitude of people that had absolutely horrific experiences and no access. But there were a handful of folks, and I do try to be one of those people that, like, doesn't just sweep the good stuff under the rug just because it's few and far between. There were a handful of people that on my post on Facebook that were like, man, I am so glad we had excellent experiences with ADA, so and so. This apparently there's a woman, Sarah, that works with ADA at the festival that was just a badass. That like 4 or 5 people that didn't know each other on the thread were like, yeah, she was great. So they were I think Olivia's, some, we were doing the best we could with the tools that we had, and we were not well equipped.
I was there for 5 days, and I never once figured out where the shuttle pickups were. So, yeah. I mean, I was working, I was busy, or I was sleeping, whatever I was doing. I mean, I didn't go out and look for it, but no, there was not a lot of signage.
I know people were on Reddit complaining about the 24-hour side trans, and it's like, well, obviously you've never gone camping out in Texas.
So okay, well, that's a bullshit.
Come on now. You paid extra money to be in the venue. What the fuck did you think? Someone was like on Thursday, yeah, they're like, you're not placing us near the side trans festival. I said, I don't know what you want me to tell you, bro.
Shit.
I
got plenty of earplugs in my car. I got a big bag of them just sitting under my back passenger seat at all times, just in case.
I was actually happy I was so far out by staff with, like, everyone's like, man, you're so far away. I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm working. My shortest shift is an 11-hour day.
Yeah,
like
that's how bad
Were you guys were sleeping okay out there, though?
Oh, fuck yeah. I had a blast out there in the quiet spot.
The kind of people that were coming, though, to give you an idea of, like, the people who are probably complaining, because, like I said, I was doing RV egress, so I was their first point of contact. I'm there, like, hey, guess what? I don't have an update, but, like, let's chill. And I had somebody come up to me, get out of his fucking car or RV, walk up and say, hey, I haven't moved in 15 minutes.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
I saw someone.
That was a very eye-opening, like, conversation for me. I was like, okay, it's a lot of people that, like,
you dealt with all the entitled fucks.
They're not burners. They're like, oh, this is right outside of Austin. This is my hometown. I'm just gonna drive out there.
This was pretty entitled. This is like what I'm talking about with some of these artists. Because that's the other thing is I had a lot of artist friends that were like DJs, and they were like, "Dude, I'm having a blast out here." And it's like, well, yeah, you're like one of the DJs.
I had
take
an
care of you.
Fan come up to me, and I was like, They were like, I need to get into the venue, and I was like, I don't do that.
Story.
I don't do that. I do
cool
RV.
Story.
I was like, do you have a point of contact?
Yeah.
Is there somebody you can call that can escort you in?
I worked clamping and I worked artist entry, and trust me, everybody and their mother tried to tell me why I needed to let them, and I was like, baby, like I said earlier, I don't think you understand. I am worker B. The fact that you and I are talking means I have no power. So I suggest you find someone who isn't me right here.
I had somebody, like, do you know who I am, me? He was like, I
invested
$200,000 in this festival. And I was like, well, maybe you should have invested $200 more in the right fucking
I said, you might be important, but you aren't special.
Oh, man.
Thank you. It was a lot of entitlement.
That it burns all the time.
And there was a bit of a hiccup with the some of the toilets at Utopia Fest not getting cleaned. I don't know if you guys saw that picture I shared, but
I did see that.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, a bunch of the toilets are overflowing, so I wanted to get pictures in all of them, but I just kind of got sidetracked. But I did get that one dope picture. But what was funny was, like, that's one way to do it, and of course those toilets eventually got cleaned, like, the next day. But I saw a guy in the merch booth, and this is Utopia Fest, and he was like losing his shit at the t-shirt girl about the toilets. And she's like, okay,
I'm a fucking volunteer. Look at me. Do I look like I'm in charge of anything? You've met me.
I can recite exactly what he said.
If you saw me, you would know for sure that, like,
dude,
I'm not
first
in
of all,
charge of shit.
He's like talking to one of the guys, and the guy's like talks to the girl who likes to run in the shirt booth, and she's like, what's happening? And he's like, have you not seen the state of the toilets? They haven't been serviced at all. And she's like, oh, well, I could call them and let them know. And he's like, you haven't noticed? Like, just like that. You mean you haven't noticed? And he's like, no, I haven't. And she's like, well, and he literally like walks around the merch booth to the back, like where she's like grabbing like ice. And she's like, well, I want to know the facilities you're using. I want to know. And I'm literally like standing right next to the guy. And I'm like, dude, nobody wants to shit in these. She probably just took a shit in the overflowing shitter like all of us are doing. You fucking, do you want us to dig you a hole?
Like,
That's your first time. That's what I'm saying. If it was my first festival and I paid $800 for it, I'd
that's
be
the thing.
Fucking pissed.
This is the thing I kind of want to talk about also, because like first of all, let's get into this. Back to entitlement. I don't know who posted this. This is obviously an artist. It's always circled in all caps. In my 19 years, Texas Eclipse wins top #1 as the worst festival as an artist in my 19 years. Keep saying that. No exaggeration. If you saw the things I've seen, you would be disgusted beyond any imagination. They have failed over 50% of the artist, sponsors, security team, and workers and all commitments. They ran out of tents, bedding, cots, and even space. Yes, they are sending artists away. What the fuck? No access to power as promised. They told everyone everything would be provided, and everyone is showing up to nothing. They started giving people a 2-person tents and a small sleeping bag valued no less than maybe $40 when the experience was supposed to be fully provided glamping large tents with beds.
I saw this post.
Yeah, I've watched large groups, bands, performers, even large donors and sponsors get totally screwed, including myself and just about every person I entered with yesterday, Friday at noon. Don't be surprised when a large percentage of entertainment on all levels cancels for Texas Eclipse Festival.
Oh, wait, so that was before Thursday?
I guess this says Friday.
Friday at noon.
Okay.
But still funny. I mean, the idea is, I don't know. If you're planning on spending the night out there, you should probably bring all your own shit.
So there was the Stargazers glamping, which was one of the glamping sites that I worked at. And they had these like gorgeous bell tents, set up, and it was on the side of the mountain.
So many pre-set up tents.
Beautiful,
they looked like a FEMA camp. It looked like a FEMA camp a little bit.
Well, these were gorgeous. It was like the placement was perfect. Yeah. And I was there for 2 days, and the gal that was working the glamping check-ins, it was like me, and then there was like a security person. And then there was the glamping person, and then there was the folks working the showers, like cleaning and whatever. So then that's a whole other fucking story. Oh my gosh. So it's like these 4 different entities working together for this one area. And, I worked for a couple of hours. She's like, I'm greeting people, and she's like, okay, they're going to be, camping here. So I'm walking them, I'm parking them, say, go check in. She'll handle your glamping, whatever. $5,000 for these camping sites.
No.
Hey, I met a guy on Tinder that was going there alone, and I stayed in glamping. It was nice.
Okay,
Grove glamping was nice.
Yeah, Grove glamping was just down the road. Stargazer, I never made it inside one of these tents because I don't know, I was working. But what it was is that they were like, here's all these amenities that you're going to get for your $5,000, whatever the fuck. And so on the first day that I'm working, and they're like, these poor folks, because of course the people of color that they've relegated to cleaning bathrooms and showers, they didn't give any radios. They didn't there was no.
The actual staff did not know English, and they did not have any access to anything. That was.
And so they're like we are closing this, and I was like, ooh, I don't think you're supposed to do that. And they're like, well, that's what our bus told it. Obviously this is like in broken English and Spanish trying to communicate. So I go over to the glamping host, and she's like, oh no, absolutely not. You're not supposed to close those. She gets on the phone. The boss, it's this whole rigmarole. Turns out, yep, they're closing the showers that they offered as 24-hour access to these glampers. And I'm over there going, I just see chargebacks.
They eventually just opened those.
Give a fuck. I'm an anarchist.
The staff showers were further than the glamping showers. And so I just went to the glamping showers, and when I only showered once.
I think you were camped where my friend Carrie was camped with 88. I was literally across County Road 115.
I was at Kevin's RV headquarters.
Yeah, someone had a map, the grid map you were talking about, and they were like, I'm all the way out in letter X, number 4.
My Tinder date was at the opposite side of the festival. When I woke up that morning, it took me over 2 hours to get home. I saw somebody who got hit by a car. And
Yeah,
he was
that was the guy.
fucked up. Like not just like a simple got little.
Yeah, that was one of the deaths that they're not reporting.
Really? No, he was. Please don't tell me that guy died. I can't deal with that right now. Because the guy that I saw,
He was
Sorry.
crossing the highway.
So there was, I don't know what the paved
No,
road.
county
There
road,
was a
county
paved road, and I got lost when I was leaving.
That's County Road 2015. It
Okay.
wasn't a highway.
Yeah, and so I left this guy's glamping tent, which was, like I said, the opposite side of the festival, which is far, especially if you get lost. And I ended up on the paved road. And when I was on the paved road, they were trying to like corral me in a way that made me uncomfortable. And I was like, look, dude, I don't want to, you're not going to stop me right now. And she goes, well, you're going to get hit by a car just like this guy. And I looked over and
wow,
fucking, yeah, she was not nice about it. And I look over,
was it a
this
medical
guy
staff?
fucking laid out on the ground.
Wow.
And EMS showed
That's
up.
quite a way to drop it on somebody.
Yeah, and so I took off. Like I can't deal with that shit. Like
You're
I
like, I don't
heard
want to
of-
be in my car or talk to you by like that. Jesus
yeah, I was
Christ.
like,
What do
whatever's
you-
going on, I'm not staying. And so I just kept moving. It's 9:00 in the morning. I'm just trying to get home to my tent.
What do you ladies think about like these unfounded rumors that the security staff were smoking literal crack out there?
I don't know about that. I do know that it's.
I honestly, the only thing I heard about security was way early on in an event when the mass, like, the folks were entering. My initial reports were that the security staff got a list of prohibited items that was apparently the wrong
I heard about
list.
this. It was like a camping
Yeah,
list.
no, they did. They stole a lot.
So
They were
because-
confiscating stoves and knives and shit for shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they were literally
camping
throwing
stove.
out what people were supposed to bring, but then apparently, like I said, that's all hearsay.
No, of course.
I have
Well,
I
no,
have
when
seen
I
it.
got there were so many dogs. Have you been to a festival with canines before?
Oh, you mean police dogs?
You mean Rose? You mean Rose and Cerberus? Yeah, I meant those.
No.
dogs.
When I got there, I'm talking. When I got into security, which was, I think Thursday morning, there were probably 50 fucking canines.
Yeah, I got there on Tuesday, so I didn't. I still have yet to see.
Yeah, well, and that's I called I called the person who I'm working for, and I was like, "Yo, dude, you didn't tell me." I mean, like, I didn't really have anything I was worried about, but at the same time, I was like, "You should probably tell anybody you know that there's all these dogs here." But then I realized, like, there's nobody crying, there's nobody in handcuffs, so they were basically bombing, like, yeah, they were like gun and bomb dogs.
By that time, they got their shit together. They realized that they had the wrong list.
So many dogs. Yeah, and they hardly searched me. That at all.
Yeah, that was something else I was noticing was people in the early admittance area of the festival saying, "Hey, watch out! There's drug dogs," and like people would be like in the comment section, like, "Hey, man, those drug dogs were chill, man." I was like,
I did hear that they picked up like an ounce of ketamine. Like,
yeah, they were not drug dogs. By the amount of drugs that I know that were in that event.
That's what I said. I was like, "There's no way none of these people have drugs."
Right.
So, like, if somebody would be in handcuffs right
They're
now.
made looking for fentanyl and bombs.
They did arrest during the event. They did arrest somebody for fentanyl, and
that was why the sheriff pulled the permit. I from what I understand, it was the combination of like 4 fent overdoses and that guy dying of the heart attack that the sheriff that night pulled the fucking permit.
Right. Well, that's where we get into conspiracy theory stuff because all of a sudden, Monday morning, this is the announcement.
Jesus Christ.
I want to hear what Liz says too, but I'm listening, Enzo. It is your show.
Oh, wait. There's no audio. My bad. That was going to be smooth and cool, and I fucked up. Here we go. Monday morning. Hang on a second.
Lots of fun, but not everyone had a good time. The weather put an early end to an Eclipse event out in Burnett County. Organizers canceled the Eclipse Texas Festival this morning. The music festival had been going on at Revelle Park Peak Ranch for several days, but organizers told visitors all of today and tomorrow's performances were canceled. And they asked everyone to pack their camping equipment and leave. The Burnett County Sheriff's Office expected a surge of traffic because of the cancellation.
Now, this is crazy because, first of all, the festival's supposed to go on till Tuesday, correct? People are supposed to leave Wednesday. You got a bunch of people from out of town, and they got, they're planning on staying at this festival, and obviously we've been hearing all month how all the Airbnbs and hotels are all booked. There are no rental cars available, and all of a sudden they canceled it because there's some rain that's coming on Tuesday. So all the bands on Monday, these are all the big bands, right? Who got canceled? The String Cheese didn't play?
Everybody. All production was canceled on Monday and Tuesday. No talks, no music, no nothing. Literally.
Right. So like some of the biggest acts were for Monday because that's the Eclipse day, right?
Like I said,
Tycho was scheduled to play. Joe Russo's almost dead. Who else? Who else? What were some other ones, Olivia?
I don't. Well, that's the thing. I didn't go for the music. I've seen all the music.
I didn't know who. I knew maybe 6.
You're all in my same boat. I don't know who the hell's playing. There's too many bands.
I was like, I recognize 6 of these people, and one of them is just a friend of mine.
Right.
So, like, I wasn't.
The moon stages.
One of the funny things I heard.
I can't even read that. That's how old I am.
Right.
I'm looking at the screen. I'm squinting. I'm old.
One of the funny things I heard was like you got Tipper, right? But then you've got all the Tipper clones as well. So it's like
every time I went around, it was so. I didn't get to go to a lot of music. That was also another thing. I did not.
Saturday night I went to see Dirty Wolves, and Sunday night the only reason I went to see Tipper, who was not somebody that I knew who they were, is that
I accidentally went
that I was camped with was like all my crew, my fellow crew folks were like, it's their last show ever, and I was like, well, I should see that because that seems like it'll be a big deal. And also, I went to see my one homie on Saturday, Dirty Wolves, and I did it alone. I walked in by myself. I walked around by myself.
Shout out to Dirty Wolves, man.
Levi,
I like Dirty Wolves.
And I got knocked down by myself. I went to medical by myself, and I got home by myself.
Wow.
And I realized that I was more seeking the social, of the final night for me, because I was going to be off on Monday for the Eclipse. So I was like planning to like go hard Sunday night. So I didn't know who Tipper was, and but all the homies were going. So I walked with them and was like, well, this is a really cool show. I don't know anything about it. And then I saw the drone show with the trees people. Man, I sound 80.
Dude,
the
I
trees
missed
people.
that. I'm so
This is Sunday night you're talking about?
I did not see the drone show.
Yeah.
I didn't know it existed.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah, there were definitely some cool lights, some cool
I have
set
no idea when that happened.
Yeah, I saw the great the drones like mimicking the Eclipse and stuff. That was dope. I thought that was
I
cool.
did not see that.
Now
I loved that.
So let's talk about this Exodus, though. Did a lot of people stick it out, or everyone tried to leave after the Eclipse? Right?
No. A lot of people actually did listen and got the fuck out.
It's just interesting because, like, I'm just imagining people like obviously taking like heroic doses of drugs like early in the morning because the eclipse is going to happen at 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
and
you're
then
on the right page.
then they all find out it's time to leave. That would be a nightmare.
They were not rushing people out. They were literally saying, "We are encouraging you to leave." Right. Nobody was pushed out.
I'd pack up my shit and spend the night and then leave first thing in the morning.
Yeah, it was get ready to leave. There is going to be weather tomorrow that we really want you guys to not be, blah blah. The weather was bad though, right? It didn't cancel. It really was bad. We had hours where we couldn't work because there were red zones where they were like, all calm, everybody shelter in place to where. So this is why, as the company that was doing ingress and egress, this is why it was important to get the majority of the people out on Monday. Even though everybody and their mother wanted to be like, I don't see any clouds or rain. And I'm like, bitch, it's not about today, it's about tomorrow.
Yeah. If everybody would have left the next day, it would have been fucked. That's why I left.
Because we weren't going to be working. Yeah, we were going to be sheltering in place, not getting struck by lightning.
Yeah, I was being paid. I was volunteer, so I got the fuck out there.
I gotta say, I was, being told like, hey, watch out, the traffic, it's gonna be bad. Make sure you have a full tank of gas because like everyone's gonna be trying to hit the road and leave the gas. It was fine.
Yeah,
everybody
I never ran into it either.
left on Monday when they were supposed to throughout the day because it was like I said, and that's why I made this big post. I was like, this is not a state of emergency. This
Right.
is not a everybody hurry and get the fuck out at the same time. This is a hey, please leave ASAP.
No,
And
the announcement that they
great.
made did not sound like that.
But they
though.
did cancel all the music, though, right? I
Yeah,
know
and
that,
they
yeah.
literally were like, due to
They didn't
imminent
want-
weather, and
Yeah,
they
right.
made it sound like you need to leave
They
right
didn't
the
want
fuck
people
now.
hanging
And
out.
it
That would have
was
been, yeah, like you said,
definitely-
like if I had gotten a free ticket like I normally do, I would have had a blast. But if I had spent like fucking
Right.
$2.5 grand on I would have been pissed,
I
dude.
told somebody the same thing last night. I was
talked
like,
to
if I
a bunch
wasn't
of
a
people
volunteer
that
and got a free
2.5
ticket,
grand
then
when they got out on Monday. They packed up their shit leisurely all day, and then they sat and watched the eclipse on the property, and then they left right after, and they were out in
that's
9
what
minutes.
I did.
Nice.
It wasn't hard.
beautiful.
It
I had a
wasn't
great
fucking
time. I was
hard.
in glamping, and
Ah.
everybody pulled out. So in glamping, they had these like queen size beds, and so everybody in the row pulled their queen size beds out, and so everybody was just laying in these beautiful sweet mattresses.
Well,
And-
as for the actual eclipse, like, yeah, I mean, you all stuck it out and saw that, right?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
no,
man. I was there till
everybody was like,
Tuesday
and then
night.
after that, I left at like 5 p.m. that night. I went back
Cool.
and casually put up my tent.
Were you
I think it
happy to
never
be back
rained.
early?
Oh,
Secretly?
well, somebody let us stay at his house in Austin because I was on a team. of
Right,
people.
because you live, and
so-
yeah, neither of you live near Austin. That's right. You both had quite a
Yeah.
drive.
yeah,
Where do you live, Olivia?
League City, south of Houston.
Okay, yeah, and I'm in Corpus.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but it only took me like 45 minutes to get out of there. But I do know at the same time I left, people who were trying to get out from car camping was like 3 to 4 hours.
Now, as far as like, these are all unfounded rumors, but it's just more like a symptom of a bigger issue. This just seems to be a common thing where festivals getting canceled or pulled or, various things happening at the last minute and then them
Summer
getting like
camp.
insurance money.
Summer
Like-
camp.
It seems like if there's any kind of weather, they intentionally like take the moment and like will pull. And it feels
Yeah.
like, I feel like they recoup their losses and they don't have to pay the big acts. I mean, this is all speculation, but this is not by all means like the first time this has happened with not even just this production company, but like with most these huge festivals. It just seems like there's like this festival bubble and it's just about to pop. I don't
I'm in a
understand
lot
how
of
they still make money.
And I've seen people who did buy insurance that like their insurance was canceled weirdly right before,
Oh my
or
God.
they have like weird loopholes and they're getting like $20 refunds and stuff.
Man,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
the
Disco
thing
Donnie's
about-
getting the heat right now.
The
Of
thing
course.
about this is why they're saying it's complicated because they posted. So just as a little backtrack, my night that I went hard, I had this injury. I was on my cane Saturday night, the night that I was solo and all sad and making it to my one show that I wanted to see, and I had to go to medical because I'd gotten knocked down. Well, that shit show of an experience, that's like I said, that's a whole other story. I'm not going to go into my personal medical experience, but someone stole my damn cane
oh my
from
God.
medical. I don't know about Wooks, man. I don't know why you would steal a mobility device. So when I went out the following night, I was like, fuck it. This is my last night because I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to go hard tonight. So I made my way to the moon stage after Tipper. And I might have had a few beers, at least 1.5 beers. And so I'm kidding. I was drunk. So I was like watching the fire spinners, because the cool thing about having a crew or staff wristband was that you got to go where VIP went.
I
So
didn't
this-
fucking know that.
I
had one
invited
the
a
whole
few of
time,
the
and I had no
I invited a
idea.
few of the fire spinner girls I knew that were there, and one of them's traveling, and the other one ghosted me. No, I'm just
Nobody
Well,
told me that until after I got
Well,
home.
this is where all the frustrations and all the shit came to like just float away, and this is why I get why the VIP and these things are so like intoxicating to people because like
Yeah.
getting is nice. Granted, I worked my fucking ass off and I left blood, sweat, and tears on the property
Oh.
to enjoy this. And so I walk around and I'm like watching the fire spinners, and when they're done, I said, "Can anybody get up there?" And they said, "Yeah." And so I walked
Oh,
up
boy.
there and then danced on the side of the stage. This little
What
like
song?
rave. I don't know. It was like 3 hours of it.
Some random side trance shit. Okay, you weren't like
No,
dancing to Sweet Cherry Pie or something cool like
no,
that.
it was some DJ. I don't know, man.
All right.
I danced.
That's
for 3 hours,
cool.
and I couldn't. And by the end of
No
it, I was
cane or nothing.
yep. Cane, well, the cane got stolen the night before.
You never
Yeah.
found it?
Nope.
That is some
Nope.
bullshit.
I danced.
Yeah,
through the
I gotta
fence.
say this year, like I said, I was already going to bed pretty early out there, and I think that's just because we ate a fucking heroic dose of mushrooms like the first night we were out there. So like ever since then, it was like, God, we're sleepy. I don't know.
Well, it's the same thing. I was working, 11 to 14-hour shifts, and when I camp, I wake up regardless of whether I want to, and generally I'm going to wake up when the sun comes up, unless I am already up or still up.
Right.
So that Sunday night, I danced through, and finally I'm like, oh God, I'm like so exhausted. I walked to Zendo, which wasn't too far from the moon stage, and I was like, I'm a staff member. This is not an emergency, but if there is a golf cart going towards staff camping, I'd love a ride. And I'm sitting in the chair falling asleep, and finally I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Can I? And they ended up putting me to bed in one of the little beds in the back, and I was all snuggled up. And the Monday morning, some lovely, lovely girl woke me up all sweet and said, I just want to tell you the rest of the festival is canceled. You have to pack up and go home. And I said, I started to laugh.
Right?
Yeah, I thought she was fucking with me. And then she was like, no, I'm not kidding. You have to like wake up, kind of get your shit together and leave. And I was like, oh, and now I'm also laughing at you because just because all of y'all are going home doesn't mean I'm going home because I want to shift tomorrow, because I was working with egress people. So,
Well, I'm sure Olivia will be back. But what was great with this time around, because the thing is, I usually get Utopia Fest. I usually get a few Sterling passes for doing the posters and stuff, and I love going out there and hanging out and bring all my camping gear and bring a bunch of food. It's funny because usually what we do is we bring a huge like a pot of something and like the kitchen, the little camping stove.
Did I see you last year at Utopia?
Yes, most likely.
Okay.
I was there
Yeah.
October. Yeah. You saw me. I remember we were hanging out by the river or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. And yeah, I remember.
I was gonna go to this, and I was ready to go with Ruthie and Holly and the Honey Dome crew again, but I got the email from Seed, which I've worked with them with Float Fest, and I was like, man, this is just too good of the money because I was paid pretty well to go, and I was like, I got to do the things, and I got to tell you, man, I know it's a shit show, but all of the experiences that I have and all the tools in the toolbox, like I like to say, I got told by 7 people in one day that I was the most helpful person that they encountered.
Well,
so I know I made a difference to like at least 15 people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's why I like you, Liz.
Zendo-
You're not one of them.
Zendo.
You're not one of them damn sparkle ponies. You're battle hardened.
Not even a glitter unicorn.
Right. And yeah, there was something I realized this time around was like hanging out in the Sterling Lounge. I realized like, yeah, it's a bunch of old people sitting on couches. And I'm like, you know what? There's a certain age where you're like, I would pay an extra couple $100 just to be able to sit in a couch next to the stage. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, that's actually a pretty good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm reaching that age where I'm like, you know what? I'm seeing the appeal.
Yeah, you've paid your dues. You don't need to struggle bus anymore. You got a little bit of extra money, and you should put it into your comfort. Absolutely.
We were definitely looking in, like we were thinking about, like, oh, it's gonna be fun to go watch this band and sit next to the old people in the couches. I'm excited about that. Like, I can't wait to get off my ass sitting over here at the camp and walk over there and sit by the stage. That's like the age I'm at right now. I'm like, hell yeah.
I brought my little wagon. I bought those collapsible canvas wagons, $40 wagon. And it was funny because the staff, they're like, make sure you bring everything that you need for your 12-hour shift. These people were just walking off on the shift. I'm like, how are you going to be prepared for a 12-hour shift? I need my cooler with like 5 bottles of water. I need snacks. I need cheese sticks. I need a chair. I need shade. I have like a literal wagon. And the first day, my lead's like, we don't have room for the wagon and the gator. And I was like, well, you better make room. You better make room because you're gonna put me in this wagon, the gator, and then you're not gonna.
I need
hear
my wagon,
from
boy.
like you're not going to hear from me for 12 hours because this is how I don't need you. And sure enough, they would drop me in my wagon off, and then they would like cruise by 5 hours later. Hey, do you need lunch? I'd be like, I guess. I've been eating every 40 minutes with my little snacks. Sure, I need some. I ended up packing extra water bottles for the participants that would walk by, lost as shit, not knowing where they were going. I'd be like, sit in my chair that I brought.
Dude.
Have some shade. Here's a bottle of water, and I would sanctuary them, and then look at their map and realize they were lost and get them on their way.
Oh God. See, I'm getting at the age now, or also you're a hardcore camper when you like look at people's wagons and you're like, damn, you got a new wagon.
Nice wagon.
That's a nice wagon you got there. It's a nice. You can haul a lot of ice with that wagon there, boy.
Yeah.
So I guess this couple, they went to an RV camp and they got a YouTube channel, and I guess they had all their accommodations taken care of, but they seem to be having fun.
Exactly like level ground here, so hard to get a real Jack to
These dumb music festivals, and now I dress like a softball coach, and I stand out so hard because everyone wears the raver uniform, kilts and cowboy hats and neckerchiefs and all that stuff. And it's like I wear like some slacks and a polo shirt and maybe like a baseball cap and a hoodie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just bought one. Check this out. I just bought this.
Yep.
Well, I just bought this new coat. What is it? Let me see. It's just like a standard like black with some little white like reflective lines on it. Yeah, it totally looks like a soccer coach or something. It's so lame. I definitely look like a nerd at these things. It's fun.
I had such a blast, honestly. I met so many people, and it was funny because it was like obviously there was a lot of burners that I know that were headed there, and so wherever I was placed, there was a couple of periods of time where it was like every other car would be somebody I knew. And they would be like, Liz, and they want to get out of the car. And I'm like, no, stay in the car. I can say hello to you from out here. You cannot block traffic. Jesus, this is not a burn. We're not having this isn't greeters.
Yeah. I gotta say, this guy's got a good looking wife. But anyway, yeah, the other thing that's interesting is I wanted I invited a few people on here. I did just kind of send the link out there to see who was available. But what else? I wanted to get like I had a few friends that were very adamantly like they were there, they hated the thing, they want to talk about how bad it was and how bad their experience was. So I'm like, please come on, but they might not be able to. And then also there were some other people that were like, it was the best time ever. Don't listen to the haters. And it's just like I want to hear. I'm glad that you guys, you and Olivia, though, you both were kind of middle of the road. I like that.
I definitely.
You can have a fun time at a shitty music festival. It's possible.
I'm gonna have a good time no matter where I go because I'm gonna make sure that I'm comfortable. And what it is that, as I tell people, it's all the really great things about myself that I'm, these radical self-reliant things, they're based in trauma because I forgot the one thing one time and it was a shit show, or and so I didn't have this,
You ever been stranded somewhere? You don't want to be doing that again. It's a pretty shitty situation.
And it's honestly, it's even silly to be, because it goes back to like when I was like a little kid, I did all the things. I did the sports, the dance, the theater, and my, had to go back and forth between the two households. So my dad would get mad at me when I forget one thing and you have to take me to my mom's. So if you've ever seen my van is literally everything that not only I might need, but at least 7 other people might need.
Yeah, I got a similar situation with my big SUV. I got all kinds of random crap tucked under the seats.
Yeah, I'm always gonna have a good time, and part of it is that I bring the extra stuff because I know somebody else is gonna maybe need the thing that I might have, and I've had enough instances when I've provided that thing for that person that like, oof, they were very grateful.
Hey, this is where we were hanging last time, you and me.
Yes,
here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not make it to the quarry this time. They closed it at 8 p.m. each night because they actually had lifeguards. And the earliest I got off on Saturday and Sunday was 6 p.m., but I needed the time to like get back to camp and get ready for 8 o'clock show. So I did not make it to the swimming hole this time. but yeah. And
All right. Was it
yeah,
hot
so
out there, or the weather was okay, or?
honestly, I had maybe one day where I was like, this is kind of hot, but it wasn't hot enough for me to. I still wore long sleeves and pants every day, and my hat and my, yep, that foot looks familiar. I wore socks and shoes, and my fucking foot
Oh my
still looked
God.
like that one. Well, because my socks and shoes were like kind of porous to the air and dust particles. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
all right,
I'm one of
little
those dudes that
shits.
just wears open toe. I wear like open toe sandals like the whole time I go out to these fests. You know, I don't care. I got
Let us
major hopping feet.
closed toe shoes was part of our uniform, which is fine. I was wearing my sneakers and my boots. I had multiple pairs of shoes, and I had multiple pairs of shoes so that my feet wouldn't get sore because I knew I was going to be on my feet a lot. Yeah,
Oh
I had a
God.
blast. I was basically a parking attendant greeter, which allowed me to be my happy-go-lucky, bubbly self with these like lovely, quick interactions with folks, but also very efficient and like logistics. Like it was really a good role for somebody like me. I felt very validated in my skills, so there was really only one day, like an hour of
Good.
one day where I felt a little like frazzled and unsupported. But like I knew what it was is that my team lead had, long story short, overall I had a really good time with the company that I worked with. Seed has been Black Rock Observatory. Man, I fucking wanted to go to that. I did not get there. I was like Olivia was saying, I'd get off shift and I would just be like, man, I got another 11-hour shift tomorrow or a
I'm
14
tired.
hour shift tomorrow.
Jeez.
I don't want to be tired, because
All right.
it was such a hassle to get in and out of the event.
Still, that looks like a
So
shitload of people, man.
it was a blast. Oh yeah. Yep.
All the LED glow in the dark stuff. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well,
It was that was so gorgeous. That heart was so pretty.
nice. Meow
Yeah,
Wolf was out there, I guess. Okay.
this was great.
Well,
I'm really liking seeing this.
I'm glad that. Yeah, this is funny. I guess this is only like day one for these people in the RV. So I don't know. I don't know how it turned out for them when they had to
Wow.
leave suddenly. But,
yeah, I had a blast. I didn't go seeking out any artists except for the one that was my homie that I knew, and it was just I am it is sad that there were some unfortunate situations, whether it's the loss of life or the severe ADA issues, and then,
the
the
lack
fact that
of cancellation due to weather, the lack of amenities for people. But you go to a festival this size, you should kind of be half expecting it because most of these festivals this size are scams. You know what I mean? You should be surprised that it's even happening. Usually, when you go to a festival this size, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys where it's like there is such a thing as like, less is more sometimes with these music festivals and these parties.
It's the largest event that I have been to.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been one of the largest events I've been to if I'd gone for sure.
And I went from straight up from participant to like part of logistics, so which is kind of how I prefer it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I know the Texas Eclipse Fest did issue like a big 6-page statement talking about dispelling rumors and what have you. And what else? Oh, here's a cool picture I saw. That's pretty good.
Oh, that is very cool.
A good way to see the eclipse through a dark beer. That was one of the cool things. I mean, we had some cloud cover in Utopia. And I remember the girls I were with were like all worried. They're like, "Oh no, the eclipse! We're not going to see it." And I was like,
I mean,
dude, you're going to see it. Yeah, it's going to get dark, dude. And because of the clouds, actually, we could see bits and pieces of the eclipse when it was happening without the glasses. And B, all of a sudden, like I know where you guys were at, you got like a break in the clouds all of a sudden, so you could see the whole thing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Opposite, where it got really like fucking like black clouds started rolling in. It looked like it was going to start. And it was like, holy shit, this is freaky. And then on top of that, like, so it got dark, and then it got dark on top of that. So it looked like it was like 5:30 in the morning all of a sudden.
Whoa.
Like the sun was barely coming out. It got dark and everyone was like super quiet and just like, because they were like, if we're not going to see the eclipse, we want to feel it and hear it. So everyone just try to be as quiet as possible.
Almost like a temple burn.
Yeah, and everyone, dude, it was one of those things
Like
where like
those,
everyone was just like, everyone just
the
started just like, whoa.
The last night of a burn with those, contemplative, quiet, and it was kind of funny because I hadn't I saw the annular eclipse in October at the beach, and it was really cool. And then this is my first total eclipse, and of course, I read the things and this and that, and it was really cool because we were by my crew, where we were camped by the staff, way the fuck out of the event. So we, there's about 20 of us still left behind that weren't working. We hiked up to the top of one of these hills that was right by our camp, and we were all just sitting there. And every time we would see somebody that hadn't made it up, we'd like shout their name until they came and joined us. And it was just really fun build up. And then it was like, okay, it's happening. Everybody get the glasses. And I, of course, bought extra glasses for the homies that I knew would forget. So I'm, the hero passing out the glasses. And just call me Mama Liz. I got to take care of the babies.
Did you hear about people going kind of blind from getting cheap dollar store solar eclipse glasses?
I have not heard that.
I heard that there were some people using some shitty, not at that festival, just like in general out here in the States. Some people were like putting out some crappy ones, I guess. And I guess getting like.
I ordered some nice like sunglasses, actual sunglasses that were for the eclipse. I ordered 2 pairs of those, and then I ordered the the cardboard, foldable ones, like maybe 15 of those. And so, and it was really cool. We sat and watched it, and it did the thing where like everything was still, everything was dark, the crickets started, and and I was like, looking around. Everyone was looking up at the eclipse, and I was like, cool story. I see it. I want to see what everything else looks like. So I'm like looking around without my glasses, and you could hear the crickets. And it was this like muted darkness. It was dark, but it wasn't dark. And it wasn't even like it was twilight. It was almost like it was like a filter. It was like if you had turned down your light balance on your phone, like on a photo. It was interesting. And I was still exhausted from going so hard the night before that. We watched the eclipse, and then I went and napped in a hammock for the rest of the day. It was fucking great.
Nice. Well, I have this, I have these hilarious, I'm reading some posts. I'm not going to read any names or anything. I'm just looking at some friends of friends talking here. And these two comments right here kind of just spell out the whole divisiveness right here. So here, comment number 1. Here we go. Texas Eclipse 2024 for me could not have been more perfect, despite some chaos. But for everyone complaining, did you really expect a 50,000 person festival to be perfect and not run into some organization issues? It's bound to happen and inevitable. It's a test of strength in your inner warrior. A festival and life is what you make of it.
I know exactly who fucking wrote that too.
It's okay. Don't say it. Despite any and all circumstances, always, it's a continual inside job, and how you choose vibrationally for me. Festivals have always supported and refined my inner shamanic warrior, as it shows me where I can be better, do better, heal, grow, be challenged, and rise even more.
She's hot.
All while being aside so many beautiful souls, artists love creativity and cutting-edge conscious community and art that we are leading on Earth. So that's comment 1. And then comment 2. This part of her post is extremely privileged, ableist, and full of blame and gaslighting for many people that had legitimate complaints. People were robbed. People were sexually harassed. ADA people were told that they could bring their own mobility devices and that they would be provided for, but that was not true. They were stuck in an area with particularly treacherous terrain. A woman watched her father die because there was inadequate preparation for medical emergencies. I am so glad to read that some people had a great experience, but I am appalled to see those same people using their good time as proof that anybody that suffered at the event was unprepared or just likes to complain. That's so unenlightened. Now, this is basically the entire back and forth on the internet. This everywhere you go. It's just like I basically just summed it up. So
Yep.
I was very happy that you ladies who were there.
I was all over that bus.
I know. And
But yeah.
I invited not the lady who made those 2 comments, but the lady whose post that was. I invited her. I know she was out there and a few other people, but it is Sunday night. And also it's like, hey, you haven't fucking talked to me in a few years. Come on my YouTube show and talk shit about the Eclipse. So I totally get it if you guys do want to come.
Nick says the last time my shamanic warrior came out, I lost 3 days and woke up 3 pounds over.
Yeah. Nick's is my Transylvanian buddy.
I
Tell
love
him if he
that.
ever comes to Texas, man, you need to come party. And yeah,
Nick's,
if I'm ever in Transylvania, I will also hit you up, Nick's. Yeah, and also shout out to some other people that were here. Tim's talk was here, and Gooch showed up for a little bit. CLS. The thing is, we didn't start bitching about like Disney or crappy Star Wars or movies, so a lot of people tuned out when I was like, I'm going to talk about something different. Think about the Sundays. Monday tomorrow night, 11 p.m. I think I am going to be going back to the old basic bullshit. We got a lot of stupid news to catch up to. I got to watch Fallout. I'm hearing Fallout is really good.
I don't know what that is, but
it's the movie. It's the Amazon show based on the video game that I never played. So
yeah,
if I like it, that's a good sign, because if I didn't play the game and I like it, hell yeah. But everyone seems to be liking it.
You let me know.
Yeah, and also, what else do we got going on? Liz, I was happy that you made it. You made it back, and you were okay, and you had a good time. All things considered. I'm assuming Olivia's phone died or something, but she popped out at her heart's content, like I told her to. Yeah, what else was going on?
She's like, I was like, oh, and when you were like, whoever Anna Nicole is, and she's like, it's Olivia.
Yeah,
She's like, Liz, you've been showing up on my people you may know for years. So I was like, be my friend. So I don't know, maybe I'll get a friend request out of the jam.
Yeah, Nick's is saying Fallout is a good show. I'll check it out. Yeah, I guess that's what we're all going to be talking about next week on Monday and Tuesday. And oh man, Wednesday, me and Leon from Words of Paradise, we watched The Heavenly Kid. It's like an 80s movie about a 50s greaser who dies playing chicken, and then he has to come back to the 80s and like teach his this like nerd how to be cool so he can get into heaven. It's called The Heavenly Kid. It's super great. Yeah, it's got Malcolm in the middle. It's got his mom in it.
The 50s and the 80s are the 2 cheesiest decades of movie making, so this is great.
I was talking about how like the difference between the 50s and the 80s, okay, but the difference between like the 80s and now, holy shit. Like if you sent some guy from the 50s to the 80s, they'd be like, okay, it's pretty much how I envisioned it. But if you sent someone from the 80s to the 2020s, they would be like, what is this place? I don't like it. I don't know where I am. What's going on?
I made the mistake of trying to look up the movie, and now I got ads. All right, here we are. Anyways.
Well, Liz, thanks for stopping in and partying with me for a good 90 minutes. Of course. It was great shooting the shit with you and hearing about your experience out there, and knowing that you're one of the tough ones who didn't let the shoddy organization spoil your plans, even with the cane. Did you ever get a new cane, or what happened with that?
It's really funny too that of all the canes to have had stolen, it was the lamest cane I've ever had. It was just a cane from like Walgreens. Okay. I've had like LED, cool canes all light up and glowy. So no, I don't have a new cane. My injury, it's a thing that happens because I've injured my ankle so many times. I just got to go buy a new cane. So
well,
I keep it. I keep it in my. When I injured my ankle on my shift. They're like, "Do you need medical?" And I literally just whisked out of my wagon, the wagon of goodies, my ace bandage and my cane. I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Wow, what a trooper! Well, if I find out who stole your cane, I'm gonna bop him in the nose and be like, "Yo." I mean, I'd like to think someone needed the cane and someone was like, here's a cane. I would hate to think it's like some wook like, hey man, I got a new pimp cane I can spin around.
That's what everybody keeps saying, because I was at medical when it happened, but like also, geez, of all the places to steal a cane. But yeah, we're choosing to believe the origin story is that the cane made its way to somebody in need.
Of course. Liz says, Nix, was it worth it? And would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And yeah,
Thanks,
Nix basically said he did binge the whole Fallout show because his favorite Italian was out partying. Is that?
Well, you haven't met me yet, Nix. I'm an Italian.
Yeah, molto bene. Cool, man. Well, it was good talking to you, and yeah, I guess have a good night, Liz. And I guess I'll sign off in a minute. I'll probably just play that Eclipse video
Are you
again.
gonna be outside?
No, I don't think so. I got stuff going on. I'm trying to talks about going on the road with the band. I don't know.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
Yeah, also I might hit up Old Settlers Fest for the first time ever. So who knows? I got invited out to there. So we'll see.
I'll catch you where I catch you.
Of course, Liz. It was good talking to you, and also Olivia too. If you when you send her that friend request, tell her I said thanks.
I will. All right. Night, y'all.
Good night, and give it up for Liz, everybody. She's one of the real ones. She's a party animal. Olivia, can't tell her live. It's okay. Nix. Now it's just me and you, buddy, and one other person. Now apparently, Nix. I don't know if I've wrenched you or not, but a friend of ours, Mr. Silly, somebody has blocked him on the chat. He's not in the chat right now, so I don't know what to do about that. But he was messaging me privately on Instagram like, yo, man, did you block me? I'm like, no, I certainly didn't, but I did wrench everybody, so I can't say the same for everybody else. Also, I know it's possible to accidentally block somebody or something. So I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of that. But Mr. Silly, we're trying to reinstate him whenever we figure that out. But of course, he'd have to be here in the chat for us to fix that. Don't do it. Don't wrench me if you think about it. Well, if I haven't wrenched you already, then maybe I won't. No, maybe I'll wrench you right now. Yeah, you're right. You don't have a wrench. I'll wrench you. Yeah, you're getting wrenched. Add as moderator. Standard moderator. There you go. You got a wrench. Good job. Now let me see here. Adam Gray. Tyler Wolf doesn't have a wrench. I should give him one. Cool. Get some new also Gooch. Why don't I have him as a moderator? Of course. I like to moderate everybody. This is the Mr. Brown method. It was good. It's a good idea. I'm fine as a viewer. No, it's okay. Your only reason to have the wrench is in case if we ever start getting popular, we might get those porn bots and stuff in the chat, So if that ever happens, that's when the wrench army needs to attack. So use your wrench sparingly, if ever. Basically, use your wrench only if I command you to, Nix, if you're not comfortable with the power, My channel's very small. I don't know if you noticed this. We don't have a whole lot of viewers here live, so there's not a whole, it's not a huge lot of responsibility or anything with that wrench. But yeah, I'm glad you're still here, buddy. As far as what's going on this week, we're going to watch The Heavenly Kid on Wednesday with Leon. It's another full-length commentary. I was going to try to hustle Tuesday night. I got back in town Tuesday. I did 2 half streams. I did half of Forrest Gump stream and half of a Scavenger's Reign stream. And then I said, oh, well, I will stay up late and edit The Heavenly Kid and get that ready for Wednesday. And I just decided, fuck it. I'm just going to go to sleep. And I woke up around 2:30 and started editing Heavenly Kid when it should have been premiering. And I got it ready a couple hours later because, like I said, full-length movies are always fun. I know they're probably not the best to watch, but I thought me and Leon were being pretty funny. If the movie's allowed on YouTube and it's hard to cut stuff because we're just kind of being funny nonstop, I'm just going to play the whole thing. Fuck it. Also very minimal overlay on that movie Wednesday. But yes, tomorrow, Monday, we will be talking about just basic news catch-up stream, and it'll be 11 p.m. after Cannoli show. Maybe 10:30-ish. I don't know, Central Standard Time. It's going to be the night stream. We do day streams or night streams, 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. It's just how the wind rolls that day. But I do have a lot of work to catch up to. I am trying to get that Renfield video done. I did say I was going to have the Renfield premiere today, but I decided I'd rather talk about Eclipse Fest because it was kind of pertinent. I was hoping to have some more guests. I'm also not ruling out someone pops in at the last minute. If so, maybe we'll just start this whole thing over again and get some more personal experiences. If not, I'll just sign us out. And yeah, it started for you at 4 a.m. Well, then in that case, maybe we will wrap it up. I don't know. Is there anything else you want me to talk about? I know tomorrow we're going to try to talk about, like I said, Fallout, X-Men 97. What else? What else was going on that's interesting? Everyone's talking about Fallout Girl's ass. Everyone's talking about, I want to talk about that Star Wars girl, John Malin, Ethan Van Sciver. I want to talk about them getting banned from the C2E2. And also, more importantly, how so many people in our reviews, Fandom Menace, Geeks and Gamers, Friday Night Tights, these, anti-cancel culture, anti-SGW review dudes, how none of them are talking about this just because they don't like EVS. It's kind of fucked up and weird. No principles. They're talking about it now that Anna got banned, so it's kind of making the waves. But still, fuck those dudes in C2E2, man. What a bunch of pussies. That being said, it's very special thanks to my guests, Liz and Olivia. They probably don't want to be affiliated with me talking about any of this nerd shit. So I'll save that for tomorrow. And that's the other thing. I kind of wanted to do this stream tonight because I didn't want to talk about all this shit on Monday because that kind of just, we got so much to talk about. Like Nick says, there's a couple things that happen. So bring loads of ketchup. Yeah. Lots of catch up too. So I don't want to be spending valuable time tomorrow night talking about this shit that we talked about today. I basically went out to the woods, got high, saw some bands, had a good time. It was fun. There were some other people in another festival that also saw other bands, and they did not have, it's arguable if they had a fun time. I don't know. They had a way, way crazier time than I did. That's for sure. That goes without a doubt. As for, let me read some of this ADA festival. Texas Eclipse, the worst festival I've never made it to. Now, this article did kind of come off as a little whiny, which is why I kind of didn't really read it earlier. But Texas Eclipse Fest is the worst event I've ever tried to attend in my life. No music festival, but event ever. To give context, I've been going to music festivals, concerts for over 20 years and have attended hundreds across 4 continents. I went to a concert in Antarctica. I've attended all genres of music concerts, from tiny 500 people clubs to 100,000 plus multi-day events. I've seen the best and worst of what production companies have to offer, but I've never experienced anything like the nightmare that is Texas Eclipse. Oh boy. After more than 6 hours from when we left our hotel to Texas Eclipse, we never made it inside. My wife, who goes by the online handle Audiotism Tanya, is a disabled raver. There are additional considerations that need to be taken, but we rarely face issues. The EDM community is the most understanding and compassionate group of festival goers ever. I don't believe that for a second. And a majority of EDM production companies do their best to meet the high standard of ravers expect to them. Well, I mean, I guess they are really nice, but it's because they're high. They're high. While not all festivals hit the mark 100%, they at least have a coherent plan on how to assist those that require assistance. Texas Eclipse somehow failed both its able and disabled ravers at every opportunity it could. After being misdirected into the camping line, waiting hours to find a turnaround point, being given wrong guidance on how to return, where we need to go, told that the event didn't start until Saturday, and having multiple employees inform us that there is no ADA day parking, we finally managed to find someone who truly cared. Event personnel nicknamed Go-Go was able to call us a shuttle that finally got us closer to the festival gates. I cannot justly put into words how upset I was at this point, or the rage I felt from being unseen and dismissed. He helped us get connected with the right people and shuttled to the ADA accommodations area. Oh my God. There's a couple of things that happen. So bring loads of, but those considerations need to be taken by them, not by anyone else. Yes, Nix. I ain't say it's impossible, but you need to have a couple of ready bags. Yeah. I mean, it's like if I have a deadly allergic to peanuts. I would never trust anyone to make my fucking food. Ever. Ever. I would not go, I would just always just bring my own food. If touching a peanut could kill me, I would be very, very cautious about what I ate. Same thing where, like, if I was in a wheelchair and I was planning to go to a music festival, I would make sure I bring all my shit, diapers and all that stuff I need, whatever. If they say, hey, it's all going to be provided for you, I wouldn't believe them. I'll believe it when I see it, But what I heard earlier, what we read earlier, was the idea that they were telling people to leave their mobility scooters and they'll be given one. I'd be like, fuck you. I'll leave it in the car if you actually provide me one. But, the idea that I'm not going to bring my mobility scooter, because don't worry, the festival said I had one. Uh-huh. You ever go to the mobility scooters in the store? How often are those things like plugged in and charged? How many times? I had a broken ankle one time and I had to use those scooters, and I got to tell you, it happened more than once, at least a handful of times, where I'd be on the scooter and you'd be in the middle of the store and it's like your battery would die. You'd be like, shit. You'd have to have someone switch you out. So it happens. Anyway, back to the article. I'll start by saying that those running the ADA help area were the kings and queens of this event. They were so kind, understanding, and doing their best to help us manage an inexcusable situation. As we waited for a separate shuttle to the festival gates, since the vehicle we initially took was, from what we were told, unable to make it there due to the unforgiving terrain, we had a chance to talk with ADA Logistics Organization contracted for the event. Oh boy. Now it's even more difficult when you're traveling from out of state. I've been to this ranch before. So, but that's the other thing. Like, if you're going to music festivals and you're like handicapped, like I would have like a special like all-terrain type wheelchair. Remember Silver Bullet? Remember how Corey Haim had that really cool wheelchair that was like a motorcycle? Like, yeah, I'd have one of those. This is my festival wheelchair. I run people over with it. I try to make more people like me. There are not enough people in wheelchairs. I'm spreading the love. I try not to get all weird and talk about all this, fucking offensive and stupid shit with the ladies on. Also, I didn't know who was going to pop on. I was trying to be somewhat professional tonight, guys. I hope I did okay. Now, back to the article. I have never been to an event as disgustingly disorganized as Texas Eclipse, and I hope to never again. I totally understand that not all events can be fully ADA friendly and that contracted employees have limited training on what an event provides, but this was beyond excuses. It was beyond understanding. It was negligence, pure and simple. So if you are at or en route to Texas Eclipse, I wish you the best. I pray you are safe and somehow have a better experience than what was afforded to us. We never made it inside the festival gates and have no plans to try again tomorrow. If you or anyone you know has faced ADA or any kind of discrimination while attending the Texas Eclipse Festival, you can join me in filing a report to the Civil Rights Division. This guy just wants money, I think. If you would like to share your experience with us about Texas Eclipse and we can put it on our site, we would love to hear from you. Let's go to freshmusicfreaks.com and see if there's something about here. Hundreds of testimonials about people who had to walk. Oh, we had to walk a long way. I mean, granted, nobody wants to be camped like 2 miles away from festival grounds. That sounds like a fucking nightmare, obviously. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's more. Disability and disappointment. Assessing ADA access at Texas Eclipse. Now, this is April 12th. This is a good week later after the previous article. When was this article written? This article was written on the 5th, the very first or second day of the event. So these guys kind of bailed out early. They didn't even get to talk about the weather and stuff. The cancellation. String cheese incident didn't play, bro. Boo. This is the same dude, Eric. Boy, I want to start by saying that it seems many people enjoyed their time at Texas Eclipse. Many experienced little to no issues, or the issues were sufficient enough to not ruin their time. They were able to enjoy a large selection of amazing artists, be captivated by beautiful installations, and create lasting memories. I'm grateful and happy for them. I truly am. I don't fucking believe you for a second. Those first two sentences, I could just feel the snide, callous hatred coming out of there. Let's see. Nick says, you think they're one of those hunting for a payout accident types? I don't think it's a payout, but yeah, I don't know. It's like another way to like cancel somebody. Apparently this Disco Donnie company that runs these events, they're kind of renowned for kind of half-assing a lot of shit, overbooking, overselling, that kind of stuff. I mean, here's the thing about the music festival circuit. You're not going to make money unless you're fucking ruthless. You're not going to make money unless you don't pay most of your acts. You know how they pay the acts? They give them a bunch of tickets. And they're like, hey, sell some of these tickets. You know, you could sell these tickets for what they're worth, which is like $500 or whatever, $300. And if you sell, 100 of them, hell, you guys got $3,000. It's like, that's lame. That's a fucking embarrassing way for a band to make money. Also, what I even heard was the bands didn't even get their tickets to sell until like a week or two before the event. And you have to understand, by that time, there was already so much like negative hype about the thing. Basically, you were either all for the fest or you were all against it. Before the festival was going down, it was like everyone was like, this is either going to be a massive clusterfuck and I don't want anything to do with it, or it's going to be a massive clusterfuck and I'm here for it. But everyone seemed to be on the same page. They're like, hey, this is going to be a crazy ass time. There's hundreds of bands, thousands and thousands of people, Yeah, I'm sure people did think someone could die, and someone did die. 27% of adults are disabled. Is that you or is that this article? Oh yeah. Oh no, this guy's counting fucking mental disabilities. This guy's counting all the alphabet people. So that's, no way. 27% of all US adults. What? I mean, yeah, I'm assuming he's counting all disabilities, like Tourette's and stuff. Anyway, you're getting ahead of us though. You're getting ahead of us, Nix. Let's skip here. I do want to make clear that while this article is meant to represent some of the issues faced at Texas Eclipse by those with disabilities, it doesn't negate any positive experiences had by others. Vastly different and seemingly contradictory experiences can occur at the same festival while still being equally valid and true. I think that's what we kind of came to the decision when we were talking to our lovely guests earlier. You can have a good time at a shittily ran clusterfuck festival. Just means you're more resilient. But that being said, if you did have a terrible time or you had a family member that died, you should sue those fuckers. For real. Okay? Mother hell. The opportunity to enjoy the festival to its fullest was not adequately afforded to those of us with disabilities. Reading through the Texas Eclipse accessibility statement, I believe that Texas Eclipse would, quote, provide a physical environment that is accessible to all individuals, including individuals with disabilities, as was stated. To say I was let down would be a grand understatement. While some may say that it was my fault and I should have planned better, that attitude disregards the agreement that was made between Texas Eclipse and myself. You see, this is the problem with throwing huge events. When you throw an event with over like 3,000 or 5,000 people, it suddenly becomes like this mass gathering thing. And now you have to provide water for everybody. You have to provide various other things. If it's under $3,000, like, yeah, you got to bring your own water. We don't have to provide shit. We got to provide some toilets and that's it. Nick says, it shocked me if a country has a little over a quarter adults disabled. That country is impaired badly. Yeah. Did you look that up? Is that true? I don't believe it. I mean, how many friends have phony made up or less disabling disabilities? You know what I'm saying? Like if you have some kind of weird, I don't know, chemical imbalance in your brain that some psychiatrist told you about, you want to, obviously get help for that. But is that really a disability? I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I don't care. Like if you have to walk with a cane, like Liz, if you have to fucking be on a wheelchair, you need a breathing apparatus or something. You need some kind of device to live, to function. then yes, you're disabled. Okay. That to me is like the line. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you need a colostomy bag or something, disabled. You got a pacemaker, disabled. I guess if you got a limp and you don't need a cane, I mean, sure, disabled. Yeah, you're just if it prevents you from running and stuff and doing things other people would do, then yes, you're disabled. Would bad arthritis, like that would be disabled, right? You got carpal tunnel, glaucoma. That's a form of being disabled, right? You got bad vision. Let's say you're just horribly nearsighted. You can't see shit without glasses. Is that disabled? Auditory issues, you can't hear. That's disabled, right? You're deaf. It's the article's own buildup. Yeah, I know. This guy has to like give all this like fucking backstory just so he could just explain. Yeah, dude, we had no wheelchairs. I get it. I'm kind of over this guy, to be honest. There was another article. Let's see. Something else I didn't read. Where was it? It was a better story, kind of a happier ending. Someone talking about don't be fooled by what you read. Let's see if I can find this article. I must have closed it. Here's what's also interesting. That's kind of shady as fuck. So not only do they, okay, so you get, this is the conspiracy tinfoil hat stuff going on here. The festival, you know, they're not doing as great as they thought, making as much money. So in the last minute, and apparently they do this often, where you get like a break. The weather says, hey, it's going to rain. So now, because they've actually issued a weather statement, insurance is on your side. So you can now pull the plug, cancel the show, not pay your artists, and hope that insurance will pay all for all of them. And because there was a national emergency weather alert, your insurance is pretty much a done deal. That was like rumors that I heard. But what gets even more interesting is this idea that, I don't know, you have to, where was I going with this? Right. You can't pay, you don't pay your artists, canceling, everyone's leaving. Oh, this is where it gets even more interesting. So not only do you cancel on the bands and you hope insurance pays all your big acts, but then you could make even more money by rebooking these canceled acts in town in Austin at local venues that are by happenstance not busy because it's Monday. So like now all of a sudden Tycho's playing at the Concourse Project. And guess what? There's a cover. There's a fucking ticket cost. So even if you have like a wristband and you leave the festival and go chase them down in town, you still got to pay additional money to see the bands. And of course, now like every band is like playing at different venues. It's just another shady practice they do. That's just annoying. And I think who started doing that first? It was like Austin Psych Fest did that once. And now it seems like they do that all the time. Levitation Fest. Yeah, they fucking got canceled and then just started booking at all the bands. Now Levitation Fest just happens at the bars. I don't think they try to get a festival ground. I mean, to be honest, it'd be much easier to just like book an entire, section of 6th Street, east or west, and just, have all the bands play there. It seems like way better. You don't have to set up toilets and stages and shit. So seems like a better idea, and you make more money. That dark beer glass does look inviting, doesn't it, Nix? I agree. But yeah, here's the other article I was going to read. This is funny. Let's see here. Social media users raise red flags over Texas Eclipse Festival, but some festival goers paint a different picture. Let's see here. A number of users on social media claimed that some music artists had pulled out of the festival, campsites lacked space, and that there was no on-site will call. Burnett, Texas. Update. As of Monday morning, the Texas Eclipse Festival has been canceled due to severe weather concerns. The original story. The Texas Eclipse Festival in Burnett is welcoming tens of thousands of people from all over to come and take part in an interviewing of the total solar eclipse, as well as enjoying all types of activities before the rare event. However, some have claimed that the first-time festival hasn't gone so smoothly. The 4-day event located at Reveille Peak Ranch started on April 5th, and people quickly took to social media to comment on what they referred to as a fiasco. Users wrote that musical artists in the lineup had pulled out of the gig, that there was not enough camping space, and that there was no on-site will call, like I just said a minute ago. On Saturday, KView went down to the festival grounds to investigate if that was the case. Festival goers told us there were some hiccups when it came to getting in, but once they were inside, the focus shifted to the reasons why they came. Nathan, who did not want to share his last name because he was high as fuck on LSD, came to the festival from Dallas and said that the complaints he had seen were mostly on the internet. Obviously, some people get lost in the big festival crowd, but the people on the bikes, we've been able to ask them, and they've been pretty educated on where everything is, Nathan said. Ashley Moore, who came from Missouri, noted the disorganization and long wait to get in, but said once they got to their designated campsite, there were no issues. Logistics, like getting around and getting people in and organized, I'm kind of scared of when it's time to leave, but the other stuff we haven't heard about, Moore said. KView asked Melina Katz from Austin about any word of artists pulling out. From my understanding, marketing, they went ahead of being like, hey, this artist is coming in. They're not actually coming, Katz said. However, she too noted that despite the roadblocks, she was overall content with how the festival has gone. KView reached out to the organizers of the festival, who provided the following statement. Texas Eclipse Festival's turnout has been remarkable, bro. With guests coming from like over 40 countries and all 50 states to partake in a celestial spectacle. Woo! This is the first time festival at a 2,000-acre ranch in challenging terrain, bro, in a remote area. So, like, don't die. As organizers, our primary goal is to create a memorable, safe experience for all festival goers. Namaste. We are working through the highly complex task of getting tens of thousands of people settled into designated campsites. So, like, chill. As we recognize challenges, we work to address them quickly, bro. Fans can quickly pick up their tickets at the on-site box office, which are still on sale. Cha! 7 out of 10 voiceover. Hey, thanks. Nathan is the reliable source. I think so, because he's a man. Everyone else they asked was a woman. I'm just joking. God damn it. I'm kidding. All right. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I said the dichotomy here. Now, I gotta say, I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna share my screen. I'm looking at a pretty volatile post. It is a sharing of this post right here. Now this is public. Texas Eclipse. This is Monday morning. Severe weather warning. Following the storm and lightning, including strikes on site, more severe weather is forecast. It is imperative that you leave the premises now before the next storm hits. The comments are filled with, now first there's like everyone like, yeah, comment right here. This is big. This is good. They're like, thank you guys. It was great. Squatters are going to squat. This is our land now. We're not leaving. Yeah. Top comment right here. Also, this is huge. I'm not going to read all this, but it's basically like, yes, we had a huge time. We had a great time. Thank you. More comments. But when we scroll down to the bottom, this is what I want to do. I want to turn on all comments, not most relevant. You want to turn on all comments. God damn it. Get this out of here. Load. It's loading. Oh, summons. Holy shit. People are just writing walls of text. Let's go scroll all the way to the bottom. This is where you can get the spicy takes. Maybe I shouldn't be sharing this. I'll just share this picture right here. Shit. Here we go. Let's look at this other volatile post that you can't see that is in response to this. Your Nathan is impeccable, but your Katz is what brings your score down. Oh, okay. No worries. Katz never closes. So the conspiracy scam part would be make the event as long as possible over days. It's bound to get a weather warning and save money. Something like that. Now the other thing is it could be possible. Like that's the other thing. They're talking about how the festival was actually shut down by sheriff's department or EMS or whoever, the county of Burnett. And they're actually just using the weather as a scapegoat to hide the fact that they were being shut down due to incompetence or on-site failure, such as, people dying and overdosing on fentanyl. Yeah. So there's a lot of near, stuff like that, because the thing is, this is by far not the first time this has happened. Music festivals getting canceled like the day before they start because of the weather, but then you find out, oh, it's actually because the sales were abysmal. So because there's like, minor thunderstorms in the forecast, they can technically pull the plug, and there is like a clause in their insurance where like weather related, because honestly, if there is lightning, you're not supposed to have a fucking big electronic, amplified event. You're supposed to, you're not supposed to be swimming. You're not supposed to be hanging out under trees and shit. And you're not supposed to be running high voltage mega speakers in a wide open field. It's just a bad idea. So, I mean, it is normal for like them to pull the strike the stage, pull the plugs on stuff. But like the idea of like canceling the event outright, that's like, it better be a fucking serious storm coming, like a tornado. And that's the thing, is like, there's a tornado watch. It's not the same thing as a tornado advisory. It's not the same thing as a tornado warning. A tornado warning is like the tornado's coming, Tornado watch is like, hey, it might happen. Conditions are here. Tornado advisory is like, hey, there might be conditions. So it's such like a grading scale. But that being said, if you look in these this other post here, this pretty volatile post, I was saying, I'm not going to read any names. I'm not going to show anybody's. I'm not going to dox anybody, even though this is a public post. I don't care. But yeah, someone in this post for this weather announcement saying, dude, this is bullshit. It's not because of the weather. It's because, all caps, someone died there. Frowny face. And then there's a link to the Reddit, which is where shit gets interesting. Also, I'm making sure, let's see here. Follow. Oh, yeah. I see. We got some. Oh, no. Oh, no. Toxic talking about how he wants to bring up fucking Iran and Israel tomorrow. No, I don't think we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. Unless there's a movie about it. We'll talk about it. But yeah, holy shit. No, I don't think we'll talk about that. We will talk about some other good topics he's got. Yeah, Fallout, and also, yeah. Oh yeah, Critical Drinker getting blowback for supporting the show. Yeah. Also, Nix, do you know what this is? Cole brings plenty. He keeps saying this like I'm supposed to know what the hell that is. Oh, some actor's dead. Okay. All right. We'll talk about that. Anyway. Where was I? Yeah. All right. So this part of the post, this part of this page, this the conversation, what's the word I'm looking for? The back and forth, the discourse. This discourse is pretty volatile, and I'm not going to say any names. I'll try to do some voices to liven it up, just so you can tell who the hell's talking. But like I said, one person saying, someone died out there. That's why the show got canceled. Then here they are in the comments. Same person. One of our friends also got sick from drinking the water. Now, I heard about this. They were using non-potable water for the tap water. I didn't believe that. I don't think it's true. Yeah, but yeah, people are posting. People are on my post accusing me of spreading misinformation about the water because I wasn't personally there. Are they okay? I'm sure they will be, but they dead ass think they have a parasite. Waiting to hear more. Well, shit, let's hope not, and hope testing for that is easy. It isn't. Hope that she's talking to an attorney already, and everything goes as smooth as possible for her. Them, excuse me. All right, now this is where it gets interesting. A link to the Reddit page. Now this is where this is one Reddit comment, and I remember reading this out at Utopia Fest because woke up Monday morning, and everyone's like, "Dude, did you hear? Burnett, it got shut down. The weather on Tuesday." I was like, "Dude, that makes no sense at all." Okay, whatever. And then they're like, "Someone died out there," and it's like, okay, but the only confirmation that someone died is like this person on Reddit. Well, I guess in hindsight, it was true that this person is telling the truth. But here we go in Reddit. Never bummed on Reddit. talking about the Texas Eclipse Festival being canceled. I guarantee the sheriff department shut it down. My father died on Saturday night, and the sheriffs witnessed firsthand the absolute chaos that was the staff and medical. They are not prepared to handle a disaster in the chaos they built. Zero infrastructure, no signs. Their own staff doesn't know how to get around and find anyone, especially in the case of an emergency. This festival was a disaster, and I'll regret for the rest of my fucking life not following the early signs of such. Jesus. Someone responding to that person, I had told you this earlier on Facebook, but I'll say it again. I am so sorry for your loss. I sincerely hope that you find an incredible lawyer. When you get home, write every single detail you remember because moments will start to fade. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm not going to read all that. Back to the post. Yeah. I got some friends in here that it was like their job. It was like they're being paid by the festival to did you ever drink bottled water out there at the festival? Yes, of course. Ahoy, Stupenzo, Jacob Ironside. Oh, I didn't realize people were in here. Hello. How are you guys? Lord Toxic is here. Yes, I do bring nothing, but I brought like 8 gallons of water, even though I was only going to be there for 4 days. And then the 2 ladies I picked up in San Antonio, they also brought like another 10 gallons of water. So we had plenty of water. And you know what was awesome? I have those little freezer gel packs that you put in the freezer that keep your lunchbox cold. I have like 8 of them. I put them at the bottom of my cooler, and I had ice in that cooler for 4 straight days. And I don't have like a Yeti, I have one of those regular shitty coolers. The classic Lord of Toxicity was where you were asking about talking about Iran and Israel tomorrow. I was like, I don't know about that. Which is funny because you're normally like, I don't want to talk about political stuff, but I just don't want to talk about stuff I'm not familiar with. I mean, sure, I'll read into it tonight. I just have to watch all of Fallout already. So it's either watch Fallout so I could talk about that, or, dive into this Israel-Iran conflict and we could talk about that. I only got time to do one. So I pick Fallout. I was worried you drunk out of the port of a John. Well, fucked up. No. I was definitely trying to take fun pictures next to the overflowing shitters, though. And they were only overflowing for like one evening. Fallout is pretty good. Stick with that. Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. And that's kind of why I want to watch it, because usually there's always some flack. Usually there's always people talking shit. Also, I'm only going to go for a little longer. So I'm going to go ahead and send the boys the link just because if they want to pop in, just so we can game plan about tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty much done talking about this Eclipse Fest. I had a good time. But yeah, like I said, I had a friend who was basically like, I feel like their job was to run social media cover for the festival, because anytime someone was saying some kind of disparaging comment about how the festival was being run or how the security was taking too long or anything like that, that same person would be in the comments like, it's actually not like that. We're here right now and it's great. It's like, who's paying you to do all this? Here's another interesting comment on this post. I don't know, dude. There was semi-gray clouds and wind until the sky totally cleared 10-ish minutes before totality. No rain, lightning until the next calendar day. Someone might have been sensitive to not freaking out or no reason at all. Luckily, a lot of participants waited 6+ hours in line in the panic-induced exit. After a mesmerizing natural event, for those of us who just chilled out, it was fairly smooth exit. But a lot of people were scared and nonsense weather warnings. The weather claim is an absolute fraud in all seriousness. It's geographically impossible for a tornado to touch down in that region where the fest was held. I mean, it isn't geographically impossible whatsoever. Well, wild you'd think something like that when tornadoes can hit anywhere in the right conditions. I mean, they're rare. They can happen. Who else is saying weird, stupid shit? There are tornado areas warnings for the area, and they're evacuating. Both are true. I see. Now here's a comment that's interesting, saying 3 people died actually. And he says, where did you hear that? Says my buddy is there, told me, and then buddy shows up. Truth, I can't really talk about it though. Well, again, this is all social media hearsay, so I don't know. At least, yeah, this is funny. This is a young stupid bitch here. I don't know what to say here. At least one person dies at almost any fest. Many other factors led to this, I'm sure. The grounds were so big and rough, EMTs couldn't travel around, and you had to walk around 10 miles a day to do anything up and down the huge hill. People were crying everywhere, so exhausted. It's possible, but they ran out of supplies too. They sold an extra 10,000 tickets last minute. That's horrible. Now, here's that's funny. This is not true, says someone else. I've been to dozens of fests and never been to one where someone died. Not saying it never happens, but it really shouldn't. And when it does, it's tragic and shocking. Not something we should normalize, in my opinion. The poor organization of those rugged grounds contributed to this. So yeah. Let's see. Fallout might be a safer topic, says Nix. Yes, I agree. Like I said before, when I recommended it, the good parts are good, the bad parts are horrible, yet still a recommendation. I watched the first episode. Weather warnings doesn't mean a tornado. Exactly. It's one of those things where you have all your biggest acts playing this day. They all have the biggest price tags, you know? And it's like you could pay them tonight after they perform, or you can cancel the event and be like, sorry, insurance is going to have to cut you a check in a month or two. Nothing I can do about it. Seems pretty fail-safe, honestly. It's like the producers. They're kind of doing like a producer scam where you want it to fail and collect on the insurance money. Something along those lines. I don't know the logistics of it or how that would work. All I know is I had a much better time at the festival I went to. Yep, Utopia Fest. It was great. Had a good old grand time. Now, here's something I also wanted to share with y'all. These two will birth the Antichrist. I just know it. Now, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I like both of these people. I do. I don't mind either of these people. The guy on the right, I forget his names, but he has the rap stuff, and he raps about, the Illuminati and the rap clones, and he had that rap song with Ben Shapiro, right? Talking about like science doesn't hurt your feelings or facts don't hurt your feelings or whatever. I don't fucking know. I don't mind him. He's a based white rapper. It's funny. This chick, I also like her. She's based as hell. And she's cute. I don't know. She could see her nudes. She's got an OnlyFans. They're out there. And yeah, I'd hit it. I'm not going to lie. I've tapped chicks that look like this. Hardcore hippie white chicks with dreads. Look very much like this. Tom McDonald. That is the name. Thank you, Nix. And this young lady, I can't remember her name either. You can find her just by Googling like fucking annoying hippie bitch or whatever. She'll pop up. But she's got some cute songs. And honestly, I don't mind her lyrics. I actually support her message. Let me see here. Hippie bitch. Let me see here if that comes up. Hippie bitch singer. Nope. Let's see here. Images. There she is, right there, number 3. What's her name? She's got a standard name. Oh boy. Shannon Blake? Is that her name? Shannon Blake. That's her name, and Shannon is spelled stupidly. Let's hear some of her lyrics here. I don't mind this stuff. Love you. No, this isn't working. Where do I do this? Energy vampires. Can I just get away with just sharing the video? Probably, right? I don't think it's too protected on YouTube. My Google says Lizzo for some reason, and I use your recommended keywords. Sorry. Let's see here. If I can play a video of hers with her actual face singing. Shannon Cole? Shannon Blake. That was it. I'm sorry. Doing like 5 things at once. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, you can find her nudes. She's a pretty good looking girl. If you like that kind of hippie shit. Yeah, this stuff. This was good.
I've been chilling in the mountains of Peru, drinking ayahuasca with the shamans too. Pepper San Pedro to shift the mood. I've been learning about myself, finding out my truth. I've been healing my soul, tried the best medicine. I've been learning shit from the aliens, like how we're all connected to the pyramids, and how we used to use them for time traveling. Now I'm astral projecting, remembering how to navigate the ether. Sound heals didgeridoo, singing bowls every lyric, medicinal truth. Sound transforms DNA, my mind's making things move. Kidney infection, I heal that too. I've been doing things your brain can't compute. They'll say it's magic, but you could do it too. Just open up your heart and let it channel through.
I don't mind it. I think she's got some good lyrics. Fun little voice, cute little voice, and a great ass. So yeah, I recommend Shannon Blake and Tom McDonald hook up. Maybe they will birth some kind of anti-crowd. Yeah, she's singing in the style of TikTok NPC. Yeah, I know what you mean. They have that voice where they sing like the indie girls sing like this. They have this way of talking. I don't know how to do it. But yeah, she's got that that Billie Eilish style voice. You know. But I like her because she doesn't seem all fucking sad. You know what I mean? She's actually like, hey, I'm hot and young, got dreadlocks, and I'm fucking happy, and I'm feeling it. I'm grooving. You know, I like that. I like that she's just smiling and being sweet. I don't want to be, Billie Eilish, dude, she's so fucking morose. Stop complaining all the time. My God. Ugh. Anyway, that being said, I'm guessing the boys probably won't come in. Toxic might have been here, might have missed my message. So I guess I'm going to sign off. We got a 2-hour, 20-minute, and 20-second stream. That's pretty good. She's cute. Got that working for her. See her nude, and you'd think she's more than just cute. Of course, she didn't always look like this, with the facial piercings and tattoos, but still, I'd allow it. I'll allow it. Just because, her lyrics, she's not messaging retardedness. I mean, yeah, she's a little into the new age hippy dippy shit, but most girls are. All girls are witches. You guys just need to understand that. Who is she? Her name's Shannon Blake. Also, I sent you a link if you wanted to pop in here, Toxic. I don't know if you missed that or not on the Dorkside chat. But yeah, Shannon Blake. Let me spell her name. Search her plus the word nude. You'll thank me. Or maybe you'll think I'm just a crusty asshole who's into stupid hippie bitches. Maybe you'll make fun of me for being attracted to wooks. Thing is, I've been with a few wooks. I've dated a few hippie festy girls in my time. They're out there, and they like sex and drugs. So it's hard to say no when they're ready to go. You know what I mean? That being said, if Toxic wants to pop in, you could come in, we could shoot the shit, talk about tomorrow briefly, or if not, I'll just sign off now and play my fun little Eclipse video I made earlier. But yes, as far as Nick's, man, thanks for hanging out all night, and everybody else who's popped in and out over the course of the past 2.5 hours, thank you. I know I haven't streamed on my channel in a while, and yeah, I thank you guys for sticking it out. And yeah, I hope to see you all again tomorrow night. We're going to have a nice, fun old late night stream. I hope you guys take a nap or drink some caffeine late night, because it's probably going to be another good 3-4 hour stream. My pleasure. The ladies were nice guests. Yes. I need to bring in some more of the IRL friends more often. Get them for other streams too. Yeah, what's funny is I had a whole gaggle of people I invited. So we only got those 2 guests, which is great because it was like more time for them. I thought I was going to have like 10 guests and I was going to be like doing like a revolving door thing. Lord of Toxicity did make it. How you doing, buddy?
What up, brother?
Nothing. Just gonna wrap this stream up, but yeah, tomorrow let's 11 p.m. What else did you want to talk about? You said this actor's name. He died.
Yes. He died mysteriously. Cole Brings Plenty. He is a Lawrence, Kansas native who went out to the
Plenty is his name. Okay, because you keep saying Cole Brings Plenty.
That's his name. That's his engine name. If I can be problematic. But yeah, he's on one of the Yellowstone spinoffs, and he had an incident out here last weekend, and then the cops were looking for him, and then he wound up dead. But not only did he wind up dead, he wound up dead with his braids cut. And I don't know how much you know about the Native American culture, but that's like a huge hate crime bullshit thingy.
I have heard that. I talked about this the other day, where that show Yellowstone is like ruining Montana. All these people are moving up there, and
I heard you say that, and I've heard other people talk about that.
Do you think this has something to do with like some racist fan of the show 1923? I don't know.
Well, he got into a domestic incident with his girlfriend out here, and then the local cops were looking for him. And
are you like on the case?
Yeah, I was on the case for a minute, but I've been set aside. But I can tell you, all this stuff is public information that I'm telling you. So they had him looking at him for a domestic thing, and they couldn't find him. And his agent said he didn't show up for a meeting for the next phase of 1923 Yellowstone, which is going to be like 1941 or some shit. I don't know. His uncle is one of the main characters on the show, of the main show, and he basically, the character he plays, the kid who died, is that character's grandfather or some shit.
So we're gonna solve a murder mystery tomorrow. Hell yeah!
So, but here's the kicker. Here's your Netflix documentary kicker right here, my friend. His sister last year was found dead, also with her braids cut.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Right. Oh, you forgot you had a private investigator in your
I know.
circle.
I was joking. I was like, yeah, you literally live in Kansas City. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that'll be exciting. And yeah, I guess we'll try to watch fucking X-Men at some point.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I just binged.
We can watch it at some point tomorrow.
No, I watched it yesterday. I watched it yesterday.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I'll just watch it on my own time, and we could all talk about it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what the other guys have done though. I don't know.
No. Yeah. We'll watch Fallout. We'll watch 97.
Well, I've seen Fallout as well.
Right. I don't. Yeah, exactly. So I'll probably end the stream and start watching Fallout tonight. Not going to be doing a whole lot of work. And the Renfield video, I'm thinking next Sunday, or in lieu of a Stupenzocast, you know, because like I don't want to put aside one of the Wednesday we watches, and I don't want to like release it on another day, like Tuesday or Monday, because like then that's like too many videos. So I think I won't stream Sunday night and instead just bust out the Renfield video. So
you talking about
pretty
next
much
week?
done. Yeah. I was gonna do it today. But I decided I want to do this. Like I said, I want to do this Eclipse stream because I didn't want to talk about any of this shit tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard.
Because this is all like fucking. Unless you're interested in it, good. It has its own show. I didn't want to be. Talking about that time I took mushrooms and listened to fucking Ghostland.
Well, that was our biggest fear because that's why we were kind of taking bets when we did our Monday night stream, doing the Eclipse end of the world stream.
Yeah.
We're like, damn, I hope Enzo's like, how fucked up is Enzo right now? And
I was real fucked up when I came on that show, but I didn't realize you weren't live. I thought you didn't realize you guys had just wrapped up.
Yeah, we had just wrapped it up, and
Shit.
we watched that movie that Chris has been wanting to talk about for a while. So since it's sort of end of the worldy, whatever.
Of course. Yeah, and I caught up on all y'all streams. I watched fucking Fired Up. That was funny. That was a real stupid movie for sure.
Yeah, we missed you for that. That was fun.
And I loved how everyone was just so sexual and sexist. It was awesome.
We missed you on Monday too. We were hoping you were going to pop in and show us some highlights like you did when we did the Friday 13th stream, and you started randomly.
Well, what happened was I was charging my phone from like 8 till whatever time I grabbed it. And I guess by the time I grabbed it, I was hoping you would be on for 2 hours, and I guess you wrapped up around an hour 40 something. So like,
Yeah, the movie is very short, and we had Dudicus, my in real life friend on, and he had to go to work, and then I think I had just gotten off work or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I took a week off. It was good, and I didn't do any. And that's the other thing is like I was like I'm gonna work my ass off on the Renfield video and get it done for Sunday. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch videos. I'm just gonna watch movies and chill and catch up to the news I missed. Because that's the other thing, dude. I'm gone for like 5 days, and it's like all the YouTubers I watch regularly. It's like there's like 100 something videos I missed. It's like Jesus.
Well, you know what? I'll call you a prophet. I'll speak more on it tomorrow, but I'll call you a prophet now because you literally said, Nix, thank you. Dudicus is a good dude. I agree, man. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Dudicus sounds like Mr. Medicare. Once I figured that out, I can't unhear it.
I saw him yesterday. I went and grabbed beer from the liquor store yesterday after I got off work. And I said, "Are you having fun? Are you liking it?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "I was a little nervous at first to be like coming in late when you guys were like already established and stuff." He's like, "I was a little nervous about it, but," he goes, "Yeah, I'm having fun. It's cool. I get to, instead of just engaging and talking to the customers who probably don't want to hear me talk about movies and TV and stuff, I get to talk to you guys." And he goes,
that's what I do. That's like, why it's like me and all my music buddies. They don't want to fucking hear me talk about this shit.
Right.
So I hang out with you.
But so Nostradamus Enzo called it. He said, I don't remember when you said it, but I think it was before the show dropped, Fallout, and you said, what did you say? You said something to the effect of like, "Oh yeah, all the fucking guys on the drinker page are gonna they're gonna have to start having people shit on it, whether it's good or bad or whatever, and this and that." And Drinker dropped a video saying that he liked it, and then now everybody's fucking going at him in fucking Twitter and shit, and saying, "Oh, the drinkers drank the Kool-Aid, and now the drinker's gone woke," and I'm like, he's developing them. I'm like, dude, did you watch the show? What the fuck are you even talking about?
I only saw the first episode, but I mean, here's the thing: even if I didn't like it and he liked it, or I liked it and he didn't like it, I mean, who gives a shit? I've always felt that way. And that's the thing about most of these YouTubers. Sometimes they say something you don't agree with. Sometimes, and it's like whatever.
He hates the Creed movies. I love the Creed movies. He thought the Lighthouse is like the best movie he's seen in years. I'm not watching that shit. He likes Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I don't like that shit. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just you don't always have to fucking agree with them. It's not a cult.
Well, it's also this idea, like, he's changed, man. Like, what he fucking
he hasn't changed. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's drank the Kool-Aid. He liked Fallout. But, I was true with these the two ladies. They were like Liz. She has no idea what the fuck Fallout is, the show or the game. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
the normie world.
To be fair, I wouldn't either. My son is obsessed.
I have only played the game part 2. Which one had Liam Neeson as the voice of the father? Was that 3 or 2? Anyway, I only played that game up until walking out of the vault.
Which Fallout game? Liam Neeson. Fallout 3.
Fallout 3. Okay, so I only played that game up until like it was one of those games where I spent like 5 hours like creating my character's face, just trying to play with all that stuff.
Well,
by the time it's time to play the game, and you do the tutorials, you walk around the base, you learn the logistics of everything. By the time it's time to walk out of the vault and play the actual game, I was kind of like, I'm over it. I'm like, I just gotta stop, and I had to go do other shit. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, no, in 2021, when I moved back up here to Kansas and I kind of reconnected with him, he was like, "Do you want to go to Comic-Con?" I said, "Sure." He goes, "You're going to dress up?" I said, "Probably not." I was like, "I'll tell you what, I'll wear a Buffy the Vampire Slayer sweatshirt." He goes, "Okay, cool." And I was like, "What are you going to do?" And he said, "I'm going to dress up as a Fallout character." I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my favorite video game."
Dude, you want to hear something funny? I'm looking at my PlayStation 3 games. I have Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, and I haven't played either of them.
No shit. No shit.
Maybe I should do that. See, the thing is, I wish I could record the PlayStation 3 easier. Balfour, hello, how are you? Also, yeah, somebody, Mr. Silly, was trying to message me privately telling me, hey, I think I blocked him on YouTube because he can't leave any comments. So I'm like, Mr. Silly, I haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been? He's like, I've been blocked. I'm like, I didn't do it. So try to get to the bottom of that.
I know.
It's possible something happened.
I don't even know how to block anybody. I know I'm an admin on your moderator on your thing.
That's what I was telling him. I was like, I have a bunch of wrenches, so any of them could have done it on accident or on purpose. Who knows? Mr. Silly does come in here and get silly, so he could have said some shit and someone thought he was a troll. I'm like, Mr. Silly's an IRL friend. He's cool. All right, let's see. Nick says it's because Obsidian Entertainment made it, not Bethesda. Okay. Oh, is that why New Vegas is talking about New Vegas versus the other ones? Hail Balfour. Sound Tribe Sector this. Yeah. How was the fest, man? Were you at the fest? Did you have fun? Balfour, I'm assuming that you were
is that a band is Sound Tribe a band that played there or something?
Sound Tribe Sector 9. So I saw Sound Tribe Sector 9 at Utopia Fest a few years ago. And dude, they were the last band of the last night and the big main stage. They're a huge band. And this is the year that, some fuckery happened to Utopia. And it was like some big shot tech bros kind of came in and tried to like do a merger with their production company in Utopia Fest. And it ended up being kind of a crap show. And they kind of had to pull the plug and bail last minute. And because of that, they last minute moved it to the place that this festival was at, Reveille Peak Ranch, which is basically a spook farm that they train agents and police officers and stuff. They got like those grappling walls and what else? They got those like sniper mounds and stuff. It's a weird place to throw a big drug fest at, but I like it. But yeah, we're going to see Sound Tribe, right? And that year I was sleeping in my car, my big Yukon, and I was parked right behind the main stage. So it was pretty cush. And all of a sudden it starts like sprinkling, right? And the band's like playing, they're all peaking. And it's just like, woo, yeah, it's like raining. It feels great. And then it's like raining. It's like, okay, cool. It's raining. Fuck it. Let's rain. Let's dance the rain. And then it's obvious that it is really raining all of a sudden and the band is not playing anymore and everyone's getting soaked. And it's like, holy shit, dude. Okay. Everyone needs to get shelter. Like nobody was prepared for rain. We didn't realize it was going to rain. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So like everyone's camp gear, wherever you're camped at, fucking half a mile away, nothing's covered, protected. So people are like dashing to their campgrounds to go protect their stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to stroll back beyond the stage and go sit in my car. And I go to my car and my fucking ex and the new dude she's dating are like in my car. And they're all fucking muddy and they're getting all my fucking bedding muddy. And they're like, oh, hey, what's up? Because like they saw that I was parked back there. They saw my spot and, she'd fucked me before in that car. So I guess she felt entitled to walking in.
Right.
And luckily,
marked her territory.
Yeah.
I got it.
I mean, it wasn't like they were getting it on, but they definitely were like, seeking shelter and getting my car all muddy. And I was like, motherfucker.
Yikes.
Tony K's here. Yo, what up, Tony? Enzo, did you partake in pharmaceuticals at the festival? No, I took place in taking what was it? Psychedelics. I went the organic route. I ate a shitload of mushroom chocolates the first night I was there, and then I don't know, I just got real tired. I was like real sleepy the rest of the weekend. Like I just like going to bed at like 3 a.m. I was just like, just relaxing. I don't know, spend a lot of time like in my lawn chairs. It was fun, real chill. But yeah, I did trip balls hard that first night. It was like, but I prefer acid. I need to find that stuff. I haven't done it in a while.
Used to, believe it or not, this is going to shock you. I actually did a bunch of acid when I was in my early teens. I've not messed with it. No. I've not messed with it since I was 15, but it was cheap back then. I've not messed with it since I was 15. I'm scared of what acid would do to me now. I feel like it would unlock some shit and I'd be in a tree like sniping people or something.
Some people, yeah. I mean, they tell you like if you have like, that's what's funny is like Meg, she's terrified of taking L, even though she eats mushrooms by like the handful. And I'm like, dude, they're kind of the same thing. Like if you're into one, you're definitely going to be into the other, Like I can understand if you're into neither, then yeah. But you know, but yeah, I mean, as far as they tell you with the psychedelics, like, yeah, if you got some dark, fucked up stuff in the back of your head, you could let it take over. But it's also easy to, like, get sidetracked and shut that shit off and get distracted. I mean, the thing is, when you're on those psychedelics, like, your brain thought process gets so fragmented. Like, when you have conversations with someone else who's also on the same psychedelics you're on, like, you'll change like topics like 20, 30 times. I mean, kind of like when you're on Tales from the Dork Side. So but Balfour, I love crowds and lines and people and aggressive dubstep with people in Joe's Crab Shacks t-shirts and those novelty knitted Jamaican beanies with the dreadlocks hanging out.
Yeah,
Tony
that's
K.
very specific.
Yeah, no, he's describing people that I know for sure. Tony K, in my day, we would have mushrooms for breakfast. I've been at a meeting rolling. Nice. Well, that sounds like a cool meeting, man. I wish I was doing meetings the way you were. I just show up to meetings stoned and high on caffeine.
Yeah, I had a kid that I recommended for a job recently, and he showed up to the fucking interview fucking stinking of weed. I'm like, really, dude? He's like, well, I was nervous, so I smoked out before I went in. I'm like, you didn't think that, like, maybe you, like, walking into a meeting for a job I recommended you to, like, maybe what does that mean? Don't look in the mirror. What is that? Is that an expression?
Yeah, if you're
What does
ever
that
on
mean?
hardcore like acid or mushrooms, like, yeah, you can look in the mirror and wig out. First of all, your own reflection is freaky because you're like, ew, like, that's not what I look like, And then second of all, it's like, it's also weird thinking like, oh, that is what I look like. Like, that's me, that's what I was piloting this thing. All right, Balfour, let's see. I'm going to try to guess who this person is. Enzo, remember that time we found ourselves faced at that weird party in South Austin with an indoor pool and all these dudes are running around naked, dangling soft wang left and right? I do remember that.
Jesus Christ.
The thing is, that's happened to me more than once. Do you have to be a little bit more specific?
Oh my God.
This could have been, this could be a red camper or this could be a cream cheese accident band member. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Is that a name of a band, Cream Cheese Accident?
Yeah, it's my string cheese incident tribute band.
Oh.
Soft Wang left and right is our doo-wop Wang Chung cover band. Soft Wang.
Love it.
Muzak version of Wang Chung. Dude, that'd be badass. What was the other Wang Chung song? Because obviously there's Everybody Wang Chung Tonight.
Yeah.
But then there's the other one.
What?
Dance Hall Days. Yeah, that's a good one. We would dance hall days.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
On crazy.
That one's in the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack.
Yeah. Those are good lyrics too. He says, what are the lyrics at the end? It's like, take your baby by the fist, in her eyes to
take your baby by the fist.
In her hand an amethyst. Take your baby
hand and amethyst.
And then it's like her eyes are two sapphires blue. She needs you and you need her or whatever.
Are you sure you want to sign off soon? You're starting to get a bunch of fucking viewers now, bro.
Yeah, whatever. Jamma, why didn't this show up in my feed? For fuck's sake. I don't know, Jamma.
You gotta hit Jamma, you gotta hit the notification bell.
Yeah, dude. Make sure you smash that like and hit the notification bell, bro. I'm sorry. I hate saying smash the like. Apparently, if you say smash that like button, if you say like button, I will look back on this video replay and see if this happens. But apparently, there's a new feature on YouTube on some of these channels where like the like button will light up when you say like button. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it happen. And I'm like, how do they do that? And apparently it's like an auto feature.
I am trying so hard right now. I've been emailing Regal Cinema and fucking talking to their marketing people. And I've been trying so hard to get Blue Collar a fucking thing, a deal. I'm like,
there's a guy with 3,000 subscribers and
and he is totally advertising. But each time we do a review, like we did the review on Civil War, and then we talked about a couple of things. I'm like, dude, we need to, like, seriously, do you not watch videos where people have sponsors and they just break away from their thing? You're too used to being able to just run your mouth. I'm like, dude, just like take a break and be like, hey, speaking of movies, I have the Regal movie app.
Dude, I'll make you guys a Regal ad.
Do it.
Like a little Just like
it.
have the little Regal card like flash across the screen, you know, whenever he talks
No,
about it.
I
you can
just
push a
feel I
button.
feel like he put so much effort into going to these movies. He should be rewarded. And I would love for Blue Collar to have a sponsor so he wouldn't have to drive drunk and he winds up
Yeah.
getting in a wreck.
Well, like here's how I could just press this button and do this. Blue Collar should have the same thing where he pushes a button and a fucking Regal app.
Yeah. Regal app.
Across the
It's
screen.
I always and I do it every now and then. I'll start doing it for him. I'll be like, Blue Collar, how did you go to this movie after you just saw another movie? Doesn't that get expensive? And
and instead of saying the words, the Regal app, he'll just say, well, and then press the button, and then the little music plays.
Yes.
You know what's going to be funny, though? Here's what's going to be
Yes.
funny. Regal app is going to get your email and finally check out the channel, and they're going to give you guys a cease and desist. They're going to be like, stop. You're not allowed to mention this shit anymore.
He said the same thing, and so did Dudicus the other day.
We are not going to be affiliated with this channel.
They'll take a couple look at some of those losers lounge reels.
First of all, you're all fucking offensive assholes. Second of all, you basically make fun of us for the card. You say that we're losing all this money and shit. You say it doesn't make sense logistically, and it doesn't. We kind of had to get.
It kind of doesn't, but like, you know, he lives in New York. I live in Kansas, so he has a lot more access to movies than
maybe
than I
there
do.
are a bunch of people in New York that buy that shit. You know, I don't know. It seems like he goes to the theater, and sometimes it's busy. So.
Yeah, no, and more than it is here in Kansas. So I mean, you know, whatever that's worth.
I'm loving my little small town movie theater. God damn it, it's great.
I love mine. I love mine too. I got upset the other day because I went in and for one of the movies he and I were gonna talk about that we never got a chance to, Chinatown. I went and they have a little $5 or less store, and I went and grabbed snacks there first, and the guy was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I'm getting snacks. I'm going to sneak into the theater. And the guy was like, oh, I heard they're going to shut that theater down. And I went in and asked the guy, I'm like, you guys aren't shutting down, are you? And he goes, no, we're good. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thank God. Because I don't want to drive.
What's crazy is like the theater here was shut down for a while. And apparently it's back open. And a lot of people don't even get the memo. They're not even realizing. Because I'm talking to some people at karaoke. I'm like, yeah, I went to the movies. They're like, the theater here, it's open. And I'm like, yes. Yeah. It's got 4 screens. $6 tickets. But yeah, like apparently like it did shut down like shortly after COVID, but it's still owned by the same people, you know? So there was always talk like, when's it going to open? Apparently
what was the first movie you went and saw after COVID?
Okay, I can tell you exactly the 4 movies I've seen since COVID. So the last movie I saw in theaters before COVID was appropriately Endgame. So like everybody else.
Oh wow.
Like so many other people. The other thing that I saw after COVID, I didn't see anything in the theaters until Licorice Pizza, which was October 2022 or 2021.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And then I saw this past year, 2023, I watched Oppenheimer and then Barbie, like back to back, like
right. I remember you had your Barbenheimer thing going on.
And that, I guess Oppenheimer would have been the next time I went to the movie theater. So
shit. No.
And now I've been going quite often. I went to see Godzilla. I went to go see what else was it? I saw Civil War. I saw the other shit. Yeah, I mean it's great. Balfour. My body is sitting outside a Thai food place off Westgate, but my mind is at Falcon Ledge, 2010, getting lectured about sacred geometry. I think I know who Balfour is.
Balfour. I love when you do like private like stuff that we have no private anecdotes that we have no way to understand.
Balfour is basically dropping little hints to who he is, and now I think I know. Hell yeah.
Is it really
Balfour? I think Balfour plays the bass. No.
Oh, okay.
And if not, I'm close. Okay. Okay. So anyway, that being said, what else have we got going on this week? Tuesday, what are we watching on Blue Collar Channel? And are we doing that early or late?
Shit. I don't know. Did you ever do a thumbnail for April?
I did. We're doing Hot Shots 1 and 2.
Oh, well, guess what? I do have time to do part 2, and I went and they had a library sale this weekend, and I bought a bunch of free DVDs.
Dope.
They weren't free, but they were like a quarter. So I did get Hot Shots Part 2, and I've got Hot Shots Part 1.
Nice.
So if I can withstand it,
Are we
we'll
trying to
both.
do it earlier or late Tuesday?
I have no, you have to talk to Blue. I have no
what
idea.
works for you? You said you're available
I
for
don't.
both. You're wide open,
Tuesday-
basically?
Yeah, I'm wide open on Tuesday. Right now, I'm waiting for I had to get a new insurance policy for my new security gig.
Should we do like Monday night, Dorkside, late night, and then first thing in the morning, watch Hot Shots 1 and 2? That's always fun.
We might as well do that. We might as fucking well, since
It'll be like just take a nap between our hangout session. Like it'll be like we're hanging.
I'll set it, but I will set an alarm this time so I'm not late like I was on The Departed.
We'll just pretend.
Jamalama, we have $5 Tuesdays here in Kansas.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you have a $5 Wednesday. Where are you at in the world, Jamalama?
Indie cinema. I don't know what that means. Is that Indiana? No, Jamalama's in Hawaii, or was in Hawaii.
Oh wow. Okay.
But yeah, let's see. Nick's already watched Hot Shots. Couldn't wait for the stream, but can't wait to see it again. Oh yeah, I watched. So the reason why I brought up Hot Shots is because I actually watched Hot Shots again recently, and was like, dude, this movie's way funnier than I remember it. But also, I was stoned as usual. Washington State, he's in. I see. Says Jamma. Okay,
cool.
Well, as far as
two of my exes live out there near you, Jamalama. Maybe can I come out and crash at your place so I can get some throwback pussy from those chicks? That'd be great.
Wow. Rural-ish. I love it. I'm in a rural-ish town.
I am in a college town, so I don't know if that qualifies as rural-ish.
Well, it's like a rural town with a bunch of people, college towns, you know?
Right, and apparently a dead celebrity now. So, hey.
Right, yeah. Do you think there's like a Kansas City, killer, or do you think this seems more like a domestic thing, right? Personal.
I was leaning towards domestic until looking into it, I found out his sister was killed a year ago the same exact way. So that's a problem.
Yeah,
that is a problem. So
pretty fucked up and insane.
Here's the bigger thing. Both him and his sister's death were ruled to be non-homicides.
Oh boy. Of course they were.
So he killed himself and then cut his braids off. Interesting.
Cut his braids off and killed himself. I mean, right?
Yeah, but Indians usually don't do that. That's like it's like a samurai breaking his sword.
Could it be like a seppuku type thing? Like, you stab yourself in the belly and split your intestines out like the Japanese, like maybe the Native Americans have this thing where they cut their braids off.
Have you been watching Shogun? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, I haven't actually, but I'm excited for seppuku scenes, obviously. If I'm ever going to watch anything
that's a good show to watch because they have a lot of seppuku scenes.
Anytime I watch something that takes place in feudal Japan and doesn't have many seppuku scenes, I feel cheated.
My hatred of the Asian culture does not extend to samurai stuff. Look, anything with samurai stuff, I'm down.
So I love Redbeard. It's one of my favorite movies. It's Akira Kurosawa. But my big criticism: there's no seppuku scenes. If Redbeard had a few seppuku scenes, there is a karate fight though, which is cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's about a doctor in feudal Japan who runs a shitty hospital for poor people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. Not joking. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been about 3 hours. And it's great having you guys, even you stragglers coming in here last minute and
yeah, you stragglers. You stragglers.
Ball4, feel free to message me in real life so I confirm who I think you are. Or just let me wonder forever. I don't care. That's fine too. I don't mind. That being said, I think I'm going to delete the Facebook stream because, Facebook does not like, it's one of the reasons I stopped streaming on there. The quality sucks and the live streams don't get a lot of traction naturally. I was like eating up a lot of bandwidth, on Facebook. Oh boy, they didn't like me. Jan Lama grew up in South Orange County, Cali. All right. And Nix, have you watched or heard of Damaged 2024? I did. What about you, Toxic?
I don't know what is that? I'm sorry. What is that?
I think I saw it on the old here. It's right here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Samuel L. Jackson and Vincent Cassell. I almost watched this. It's
no, I don't know what that is actually.
Samuel L. Jackson plays Dan Lawson, a Chicago detective who travels to Scotland to link up with a Scottish detective played by Capaldi. From fucking Doctor Who. Following the resurgence of a serial killer whose crimes match an unsolved case that he looked into 5 years previous.
Where can I find this besides the high seas?
Let's look this up. Let me see.
I have Amazon Prime and I have Hulu. So
it looks like it. God damn it! It's not telling me. It says YouTube. You can pay for it. All watch options here.
Nah,
seems like it's one of these. It's only it's on Amazon for $6. No, you'll watch it on the
blah blah blah.
You'll watch it on the ocean.
We'll go to Discord and take a look at it, Nix. Okay, is that fair?
Yeah, we'll do that.
And then we'll see what we can do. But Enzo has some homework to do. He's got to catch up on Fallout. He's got to catch up.
I got to watch like 9 hours of a TV show right now. God damn it!
He's probably gonna pop a couple Adderall.
No. But I am going to move the computer inside because, like, when I'm in the man cave, I can like edit all night.
Yeah.
But, like, watching stuff in the man cave is lame because, like, I'm not near the kitchen. I don't have a toilet, and kind of just have to like pretty much just sit down or lay down. So
I hear ya.
Probably move the computer inside, and my monitor worked. My monitor was like it's like my second monitor craps out, and then when I need it, it's back on, just like magically. That seems to be the trend.
Yeah, I hear you.
But anyway,
so 11 o'clock p.m. our time.
We'll just say right after cannolis. If it ends early, we'll do it early. You know.
Okay. Well,
because I feel like tomorrow's going to be a long stream because we got a lot to go over. We'll try to like rapid fire some stuff. I'll try to. I'll have all day to like get stories in line because there's a lot I missed. It took me a whole week to catch up to the YouTube videos I missed, and now it's like another week of YouTube videos I missed because I was catching up to last week.
You picked the worst week to be out of the loop because
a lot of shit happened.
A lot of shit happened.
Right?
a lot of shit. Yes, it's been a fucking crazy ass week. It's been crazy. Both in real life and in my are we gonna do you want to send the invite out? Are you going to do that? I'm on Twitter. I've been Twittering it, just so you know. So if you want to put that out there and see who all wants to join us, I think maybe at 11, I think the liquor store is closed, and I think Dudicus could probably join us.
Yeah, I'm assuming Dudicus is coming. I'm assuming you're coming. I'm assuming
I will be there.
Chris
for
is
sure.
coming.
I'll be there.
And
I'll
then
be there
usually whoever else wants to pop in, that's how it goes. So
unfortunately, Luke may sell us out as usual. I don't know what's going on.
7 in the morning for him or whatever.
Yeah.
In the morning, 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
He did invite me on his Batman Mask of the Phantasm, but I was like, man, I got so much work to do.
Oh, that was quite an echo-rific stream in that one.
What does that mean?
Everybody was echoing. They all sounded like they were in a like pop it on for a minute. Everybody sounded like they were in a ballpark stadium.
Awesome, like Blade Runner.
It was like hello. Come on, hello. Like it was that
future awaits you in the off-world colonies, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
Was it distracting, or could you still listen to it?
I had to stop. It was driving me nuts. Yeah, unfortunately, and I feel bad. Because I don't know. I know. I
have a feeling it's sharing your screen and your audio, and you have like
you might
when I have Bluetooth headphones, I stop using them when I host the stream.
Yeah, you might want to get with him because he's really perplexed about it because it was him and all of his guests. I actually had to shut it off because I love Mask of Phantasm.
It's happened to me before, but usually what it is like I realize I have to pop out.
Well, you usually fix it pretty quickly. It was going on the entire time. I was very distracting. I had to shut it off. I couldn't. I wanted to, but I couldn't do it.
I want Luke to. I want to get him to figure out how to work his damn devices. Let's see here. I'm not correct. He's not the bass player I was thinking of, Balfour, but he is someone up with Falcon Ledge. No, it isn't because Meg wouldn't know what the fuck Falcon Ledge is, and neither would you.
All right,
Falcon Ledge is like a code word, basically.
All right, fair enough.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to play us out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night after Cannoli stream. Make sure you guys check that out. I don't remember what they're watching. I will be in and out. I'll be lurking, listening and not commenting as usual. And Toxic, thanks for stopping by on your first
no problem.
Stupenzocast.
Yeah, no problem.
I do like to. I haven't gone live in a while, so it was good. And what else? We got one more comment here. Good night, says Jamalama. All right, and if I
Good
can
night,
make it to the stream
Jamalama.
4 a.m. to 7 a.m., the Northern English bastard has no excuse. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him.
Nick's is such an unapologetic enemy of Northern English bastard. It's so funny.
And you know what? I'm kind of here for it.
I'm here for it all day, all day. I love it. I love that for them.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you all later, and take it easy.
Yeah.